Warning. The information shared in these conversations and videos are intended for general knowledge and entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered as legal advice or professional guidance. Additionally, any documentation or references to specific content are solely for the purpose of discussion and understanding. It does not imply endorsement, promotion, or support of said content. The views expressed in these videos and/or conversation are those of the individuals involved and do not represent any official stance or opinion. The content you are about to experience may contain strong language, including explicit words and phrases. This language is used for artistic expression and may be integral to the storyline or character development. It is important to note that the use of such language does not endorse or promote offensive behavior. Viewer discretion is advised, and please enjoy the show responsibly. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. The Canadian Copyright Act, Section 29, allows an individual to use copyright-protected materials when creating a new work such as a mashup and to post the new work online on a website like YouTube. Fair dealing provision for specific purposes like research, private study, education, parody, satire, criticism, review, and news reporting.
Step up, step up! Yeah! We pledge! We pledge! We pledge! We pledge! Yeah! Step in the arena, mind locked and loaded. Truth on my blade, every line's exploded. You swing your words, I counter with precision. Battle of reason, this is my mission. Raise your fist, let them know. No. Raise your voice, let it blow. Woo! We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreat. Yeah. No fear, no chain, no treason. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreat. Yeah. No fear, no chain, no treason. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. Step back, I'm a scholar and a fighter. Every claim you throw, I strike tighter. Logic and power, I never fold. In the war of words, I'm solid gold. Raise your fist, let them know. Whoa. Raise your voice, let it blow. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreating. Yeah. No fear, no chain, no treason. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreating. Yeah. No fear, no chain, no treason. Woo. We clash our swords of reason. Every thought a fortress, every claim a storm. We forge a truth where chaos takes form. Ideas ignite like lightning through the night. In the war of minds, we bring the light. Step in, feel the heat. Truth is my weapon, never beat. Raise them high, break the ceiling. With a fire, with a feeling. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreating. No fear, no chain, no treason. We clash our swords of reason. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreating. No fear, no chain, no treason. We clash our swords of reason. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through like no retreating. No fear, no chain, no treason. We clash our swords of reason.
Welcome, everybody, to Swords of Reason right here on the Speakeasy Show, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. This is where logic meets passion. If you're new here, the format is simple. Each debater gets 10 minutes for their opening statement, followed by 5 minutes of uninterrupted rebuttals. After that, we enter the arena for a full hour of back and forth debate. This is where the arguments can clash, the iron can sharpen the iron, and then finally each side will deliver a 5-minute closing statement to lock in their case. When that's done, we move into a 30-minute Q&A. I'll drop a Q&A in the chat for you guys, but keep in mind the Super Chat, PayPal, and Cash App questions will get priority. And if this fills up the entire 30 minutes, the free chat questions may not get answered. So if there's something you want guaranteed to be asked, make sure you send it through one of the priority options, and we'll make sure it gets read. Once the formal debate wraps up, we open the doors for the Chaos and Chill panel. This is where the community can hop in, challenge the debaters, ask follow-ups if the debaters choose to stick around, because this part is optional for them. It's always where things get a little wild, right? Today's debate prompt: Trump is justified in how he has handled the Venezuela situation. And today's debaters for the affirmative tonight, making his debut in the Swords of Reason arena, we have Kewl, a proud Christian American fighting the culture war, known for hot topic discussions and extensive debate, critique, and commentary videos. His link can be found in the description. And for the negative, returning to the Swords of Reason arena, the first Amender, known for his hot news discussions, political debates, and his Debate a Woke Liberal call-in show right here on YouTube. You can find his channel also linked in the description below. With that being said, let's get right into opening statements. We're going to start with Kewl. So, Kewl, whenever you are ready for your opening statement, I will start the timer up with your voice.
Alrighty. Well, first off, thank you, Speakeasy, for hosting this debate and for having me here today. Also, thank you very much, First Amender, for being my opponent tonight. It's not the first time I've tangled the First Amender. Probably won't be the last either, but this should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So, the United States has a rock-solid federal criminal case against Nicolas Maduro, one that started way back in 2011 under the United States versus Carvajal Barrios, and finally got unsealed on March 26, 2020 by the DOJ. This isn't some made-up political hit job. It's a detailed indictment charging Maduro and his inner circle, senior Venezuelan officials, with narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import massive quantities of cocaine into the United States, and even possession of machine guns and destructive devices. The core allegations: Maduro ran the so-called cartel of the Suns, a network of high-ranking military and government thugs who teamed up with the Colombian FARC guerrillas to flood America with multi-ton shipments of cocaine. They negotiated the loads, armed the narcos with military-grade weapons, and coordinated through Honduras and other transit points, all to poison our streets, wreck public health, and line their own pockets while undermining U.S. security. This isn't speculation. It builds directly on real convictions like the 2016 Narcos Sobrinos case, where Maduro's own nephews-in-law got nailed for trying to smuggle 800 kilos of coke. The DOJ laid it out plain. Maduro's crew aimed to flood the United States with cocaine. That's not rhetoric. That's the government's position in federal courts. Fast forward, the bounty started at $15 million under Trump in March 2020, right after the indictment dropped. Then Biden's team bumped it up to $25 million in January 2025, tying it to Maduro's repression and that sham 2024 re-election. But when Trump came back in, they doubled down, literally announcing a $50 million bounty on August 7, 2025, the biggest ever under their narcotics rewards program. Attorney General Pam Bondi made it clear this was after Treasury designated the Cartel of the Suns a special designated global terrorist group. They tied Maduro to Tren de Agua and even the Sinaloa cartel. The message was loud. This guy isn't just a dictator. He's a narco-terrorist kingpin. And then on January 3rd, 2026, a superseding indictment drops, adding his wife Celia Flores and others right as U.S. Special Forces move in, capture Maduro and Flores in Caracas, fly him straight to New York and lock him up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He's pleading not guilty, sure, but he's here in custody facing trial. The operation drew straight from the Manuel Noriega playbook, 1989 Panama. No congressional approval needed for a leader indicted on drug charges. Precedent exists, and it's been used. So when my opponent tries to spin this as illegal aggression or whatever nonsense he's peddling, ask him, why ignore the mountains of evidence from multiple administrations, Trump, Biden, and then Trump again? Why pretend the Cartel of the Suns is fiction when the U.S. government has tracked it for over a decade? Why act shocked that America finally acted on charges it's pursued since 2011, when the Obama administration was in charge? This wasn't vigilante justice. It was the United States enforcing its laws against a man who spent years allegedly turning his country into a narco state and targeting our people with poison. Trump was justified, past, present, and future, in how he handled the Venezuela situation. The facts speaks for themselves. The indictment, the escalating bounties, the capture, it's all on record. And that will be the end of my opening statement. I cede the rest of my time.
All right. Thank you for that opening statement. And with that, we are going to hand over the mic to First Amender for your opening statement. First Amender, I'll unmute you there. I just had you muted because I heard you taking notes, so I
My
just didn't want
apologies.
it to. No, no worries, no worries. It happens. I just wanted to make sure it didn't interrupt Cool Vic. But whenever you are ready for your opening statement, I will start the timer up with your voice.
I have to share my PowerPoint. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Okay. Yep.
Hang tight, sorry.
No worries. And remember, chat, everyone's the debaters' links are in the description, so make sure you go give them both a sup. Okay, yes, I see it here.
Was Trump justified in how he handled the Venezuela situation? A debate with First Amender. You can find me on youtube.com/@FirstAmender. What did Trump do? The U.S. deployed naval forces and military assets around Venezuela and the Southern Caribbean as part of what is described as a campaign to disrupt drug trafficking and illicit maritime networks. U.S. forces conducted airstrikes on maritime vessels described as involved in drug trafficking. These strikes reportedly resulted in dozens of deaths. The United States has seized multiple Venezuelan oil tankers, enforcing sanctions and interrupting oil exports. Trump ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuelan waters to choke off the regime's oil trade. In early January of 2026, the United States conducted a large-scale military operation in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, that resulted in the capture of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. The capture marked a dramatic escalation from the pressure and sanctions to direct military intervention and regime removal. After Maduro's removal, Trump stated that the United States would, quote-unquote, run Venezuela on an interim basis, including involvement in the oil sector and infrastructure. The United States also had made demands on Venezuelans' interim leadership regarding the cutting ties with certain foreign partners and prioritizing U.S. oil interests. Was this right? Nicolas Maduro was not a good person. I think that goes without me even having to say it. He was a strict authoritarian who tortured his political opponents. But what other actions? What does the international community say? Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Spain, Uruguay issued a joint statement rejecting the U.S. military action, saying that the operations contravene fundamental principles of international law, threatening regional peace and security, and endanger civilians. They urged a peaceful negotiated solution respecting Venezuelan sovereignty. The EU's high representatives called for calm and restraint, stressing that all factors must uphold international law and the UN Charter and supporting Venezuelan-led peaceful transitions. Official government reactions resulted in the condemnation to the USA as having gone against the United Nations Charter. The United Nations also condemns military action should be avoided, that disputes must be handled through peaceful means under the UN Charter. China, Iran, Cuba, and others explicitly describe the U.S. strikes as violations of sovereignty and international law. The United States Constitution reserves the power to declare war to Congress, not the president, and the War Powers Act of 1973, which makes it clear that the president may not authorize military actions despite in defense of military personnel or facilities without congressional approval. Donald Trump has an intent to steal oil. He said it himself. Even if you ignore all UN charters as well as condemnation of international standards, Donald Trump has publicly said that he would wanted to control Venezuelan oil. Right here, you can see this quote. One of the things that the United States gets out of this, it will be even lower energy prices, indicating a clear intent to take the oil. Is stealing justifiable? Given that Trump himself said that we were going to take the oil for ourselves, one comes with the questions, did we ever own it? The answer is no. The United States private companies controlled roughly 70% of oil extraction, but not oil reserves themselves, and were owned by Venezuela. Additionally, when nationalization occurred, companies were bought out, not stolen to nationalize. In order to say it is justifiable, you must argue that stealing is okay, provided that you have enough force. I find that the actions taken by President Donald Trump and his administration to be completely unjustifiable, no matter what route I take. I can't say that Maduro was a terrible person, But to go against specific UN charter as well as the US Constitution, to go one step further and steal is the only resource Venezuela realistically has, is completely unjustified. Thank you. And you consider subscribe to my channel, First Amender, youtube.com/@First Amender.
All right. Thank you for that opening statement. With that, we are going to get into the rebuttal round. This is where each debater will have 5 minutes uninterrupted to directly respond to their opponent's arguments. So it's not a back and forth yet, no interjections. And then when you're 5 minutes up, we go to the next one, and then we'll get into open floor. So we're going to hand the mic back to Kewl Vic. So Kewl Vic, whenever you're ready, I will start the timer up with your voice.
Yeah, so First Amender brings up how there's other countries that don't like it. I really don't care. What does it matter what other countries think about it? That's just really reaching for arguments there, because it's like, well, who cares what they think? Second of all, when it comes to like how Maduro bought out the gasoline, that's not true. So what happened was that he wanted Maduro wanted the Venezuelan oil company. I forget the name at the moment, but the Venezuelan oil company, he wanted the US gas companies that were doing business over there in Venezuela to give that company majority stake. Well, there were majority of them did, but there was two that didn't, and that was Chevron and ConocoPhillips, I believe it's called, that didn't and refused to sell. Okay, so was Maduro like, okay, that's fine, no worries? Yeah, no, they just ended up taking it. They just ended up taking it with force. So yeah, no, they didn't just buy him out. It was forced. It wasn't optional there. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there is anything else that you said. Oh yeah, in terms of needing congressional approval and whatnot, there have been actions that the U.S. has taken without congressional approval. I brought up the Manuel Noriega case, which again didn't have congressional approval. That was done by, I believe, George W. Bush. Concerning Manuel Noriega was found to be trafficking drugs into the country, I believe, to summarize it. And so they didn't need congressional approval to take him in. So there is precedent for this. Trump is not the first one to do this. There is, when it comes to international law, Trump isn't the first one to do that too. We have gone against international law before. So these things are nothing new. There is precedent for this. So I believe that's it. I believe those are the only arguments I could think of for rebuttal. So I cede the rest of my time.
All right. Thank you for that rebuttal. And with that, we're going to hand the mic back over to First Amender. First Amender, whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer up with your voice.
Well, you started off by stating that they were flooding the United States with cocaine. You actually do not know that. None of us can know that. The current information that apparently is available is currently classified, and the court proceeding is also classified. It is not going to be published at all. We just assume it is correct based on what the Department of Justice is saying it is. This also does not justify in deposing a president of a country, no matter how corrupt that they may be, based on international law, plus the United States Constitution, as well as the United Nations. You then said that you continue to ignore mountains of evidence. I would not ignore mountains of evidence. This does not give approval to depose a president, however. And then the other, you were saying that other countries do not like it. It's actually not just other countries. The United States specifically doesn't like it, specifically under the Wartime Act of 1973, and the fact that an act like this does require congressional approval, regardless of how you feel. And it is also stated in the U.S. Constitution. The other one is that they just ended up taking it. Actually, they did purchase it per market value. I mean, I would assume, I don't know, maybe you're against like any instance of government purchasing of market value. I don't know. That's beside the point. It still is not a justification to depose a president. As per multiple laws under United Nations, United States Charter, the United States Constitution, and multiple international bodies, they all disagree with you on whether or not that it is justified. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you for that rebuttal. Great rebuttals from both sides. Before we move into the open hour of back and forth, let me talk to the audience real quick. If you're watching right now, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to tonight's debaters. Their links are in the description. We host all kinds of debates here on Swords of Reasons, politics, culture, ethics, internet topics, anything where reasoning and passion can collide. We put it in the arena. So if you're enjoying the format, make sure you stay locked in because we have a lot more coming. Also, a reminder for the live chat after closing statements, we'll be doing a 30-minute Q&A. So I have the Q&A there in the chat for you. But remember, Super Chats, PayPals, and Cash App questions get priority. So if they fill up the whole 30 minutes, we may not get to those questions. So if you have something you really want answered, send it through one of those options. We'll make sure it gets asked. And finally, thank you to both of our debaters for being here tonight and bringing their perspectives to the arena. Whenever one of you is ready to start, excuse me, the open floor exchange, just jump in and I will start the timer up with your voice.
Yeah, I have some questions for Cool Vic. You go by Cool Vic, right? That's what I should call you?
Yes.
Okay. So currently, the way that I'm seeing it is that the president has violated the United States Constitution. It reserves the power to declare war to Congress, as well as the War Powers Act of 1973. It makes it clear that the president may not authorize military actions, except in the defense of military personnel or facilities without congressional approval. In your rebuttal, you brought up Noriega, right? Was it Manuel?
Yeah.
Manuel Noriega was never recognized as a Panama's head of state, either under the Panamanian Constitution or by the United States. This is not the same thing. So knowing that it is not the same thing and it is not a rebuttal to mention Noriega, I'm asking you, is the power to declare war, that's to Congress, right? The president does have a right to declare war without congressional approval.
When did Trump declare war on Venezuela?
I get that he doesn't have to say it, but he deposed specifically a president. This would be an act of war under any doctrine. You don't have to say that it's a war. If that's the case, right, you can then say that the Iraq war was not a war. Would you say that the Iraq war was not a war?
So are there troops in Venezuela? Is there a war going on in Venezuela?
Hold on. You're answering my question with a question. I'm asking you specifically.
What's the point of this question if there's no soldiers over there? What's the point of it? I could answer it, but what's the point of it?
If the question is that it was war, your response is, okay, well, they didn't officially declare war. You're right. We haven't officially declared war since I think it was World War II. So under that idea, would you be fair to say in saying that the Iraq war was actually not a war?
Yeah, the Iraq war was a war, definitely.
Okay, but we didn't declare war.
Okay, yeah, we didn't declare war. Yeah, but that was a war.
Would say if a foreign country came to the United States and grabbed the president and held them under like some international treaty charter and that they're going to try him, would that be an act of war in your mind?
Oh, definitely. But I don't think anyone would try that though.
Okay. So if the United States does it, then that would be an act of war.
You keep saying that, but again, are we at war right now with Venezuela? Are there troops actively battling troops from Venezuela? The two armies are going at it over there.
I've already addressed this. Congress doesn't have to specifically say that it is a war in order for it to be a war. You've already conceded to that. So currently, right now, under the U.S. Constitution, reserved power to declare war goes to Congress. Congress never approved of this.
Okay.
As well as the War Powers Act of 1973. Right?
Yeah,
it specifically
I gave an example.
The president cannot authorize the president cannot authorize military actions only under the case of defense of military personnel or facilities without congressional approval. It requires congressional approval by the law of the United States. So you're saying it is justified, but I can plainly show that is not the case.
Yeah, again, there's precedent for this, though it's not the first time that this has been done.
Okay, well, I've
Also
already
to-
addressed the Noriega issue, and there is precedent, but he was never recognized as any leader in
It doesn't
Panama.
matter. It doesn't matter.
And you've
though.
already addressed saying
they
that if
still
somebody
needed
grabbed Trump-
congressional. Hold on, they still needed congressional approval. They didn't get the congressional approval. That doesn't matter if he was a leader or not or what have you. They still needed congressional approval to do that. They didn't get it, and they still did it anyway.
Again, the judge rejected Noriega's claims that he was a de facto ruler of Panama. And so I find it hard to believe that a judge would act saying that Nicolas Maduro was not the de facto ruler of Venezuela.
Well, he was only ruler because he was only the ruler of Venezuela. Yeah, he wasn't a ruler. He only stayed in power because he just did it. He just stayed in power, even though he was voted out.
Okay. There's also the fact that the United Nations, under the United Nations Charter, is a binding treaty the United States has ratified, which prohibits the threat or use of military force against any nation except in self-defense or as authorized by the U.S. Security Council. None of which happened.
Okay.
So again, there's no justification. It's just against congressional approval. It's against the War Powers Act of 1973. I get Maduro's a bad guy. I agree with you. Maduro's a bad guy. That doesn't make it legal.
Okay, so when are they going to arrest? What are they going to do now then? What should they do then?
Right now, I don't know what they should do. I think they need to reverse what they're currently doing. And then secondly, they also don't have a right to steal oil.
They're not stealing oil, dude.
Yes, they are. They already have.
Oil.
They already have.
No.
They already have.
Okay, is it stealing from them if Maduro stole it first, pretty much? You keep saying that they bought the oil. No, it wasn't a choice. It wasn't optional. They were forced to sell their stakes in their companies. It wasn't a choice.
Let's try it this way.
Do it.
Let's say that let's say, for example, that the United States is shipping oil overseas to go to like Europe or South America or whatever. Venezuela grabs an oil tanker, taking millions of barrels of oil for the sovereignty of Venezuela, and say that the United States is assisting in drug trafficking. Would they be stealing oil? Do you think that they'd be stealing oil?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Let's say that the United States is shipping oil overseas.
Okay.
Venezuela says we are taking this oil for the security of Venezuela because the United States is hindering Venezuela. Would they be stealing oil?
If it was the United States' oil and it was never Venezuela's at all, this is a completely different hypothetical than what's going on. It's not analogous. So yeah, that would be stealing in that case. But what we did, we didn't steal it back. They stole it from the American companies first.
Let's go one step. First of all, we never owned the reserves. We owned the machinery on top of the reserves extracting the oil, but the oil itself was not something that we owned. We never owned it. That never happened.
Okay.
So once again, we went in and we specifically grabbed oil tankers and we took it for ourselves. We stole their oil.
Well, they stole it from the companies first.
No, they didn't. That's not how that works. Again, the reserves were owned by Venezuela. The machinery and stuff on top of it, that's what you could potentially say was stolen.
Okay. So
you don't have a right to the oil.
Okay. So they should just take the machinery back and just leave the oil there?
Well, that would actually have somewhat of a justification, but that's not what we're doing, is it?
What's it called? Yeah. So listen, they still stole it from companies like, they still stole it from those companies. You keep saying they bought it out. They still stole it. Okay. And so, Like, why not claim some of that oil back that they pretty much stole from those companies?
They didn't steal. The companies had to buy the oil. Again, they had ownership of the oil. The stuff on top of it, sure, they owned it. But they still had to buy the oil from Venezuela. The reserves themselves were owned by Venezuela. It's imagine if I had like a logistics company and I was shipping your, I don't know, bread or whatever. Maybe you've got some bread, a bread factory. And I don't know, maybe you stole a truck. And so therefore I'm taking all of your bread from here on out. It wouldn't be justifiable. You own the bread. I'm just shipping your bread.
How are they getting that oil out without the machines though?
It doesn't matter. It's still not yours.
But still, they're using the machines to get that oil out. And if they stole the machines, then yes, technically it's like the company's oil pretty much, even if it's on the Venezuela land.
Let's say that you own a plot of land. How about this? You own a plot of land. Okay, here we are. You're in a plot of land, and turns out you find there's a ton of oil underneath. Company comes in and they buy a plot of land nearby. And even though that you have subterranean rights, it just starts taking your oil. And then they say it's our oil.
So are you saying Venezuela actually stole it back from the companies then?
No, they always owned the oil itself. The machines on top, that was owned by the companies. So it doesn't matter if the company is like, you're not capable of extracting oil, right? You don't have a big giant oil refining machine to be able to do that. You'd likely sell the actual oil reserves to the company that's able to extract it. That doesn't mean the company therefore owns the reserve.
So first a minute, let's say me and you decide to start an oil company, right? Let's say I struck oil on my land and I'm like, hey, First Amender, hey, you're pretty good with all the machines and stuff. Hey, how about, look, I have the oil. How about you bring your company in and you could start drilling for oil?
Yeah.
And you could lease it from me, blah, blah, blah. You know, we make a deal where you could take my oil and sell it, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, First Amender, I'm like, hey, you know what? How about you sell majority stake in your company to me? And you're like, no way. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just going to take it then. And I'm the owner of this and there's nothing you could do. And then I just pretty much had majority ownership of those machines and all the equipment and everything. And all of a sudden I just took most of it. Would you be like, oh,
but that doesn't give you ownership of the reserve. Do you understand there's a difference between the ownership of the machinery and the reserve?
But I still needed your machine.
Did you actually not? Wait, hold on. Do you understand the difference between those two things?
Yes, I do.
So were you aware that Venezuela owned 100% of the reserves and not the machinery?
So in my hypothetical,
70%, by the way, was owned by the United States private investments. Right.
All right. So going back to the hypothetical, First Amender, let's say your son or relative eventually comes in. You're not engaging with me. I wasn't even finished and you just interrupted me.
Just go.
Listen, First Amender, listen, I apologize, First Amender. You could talk. What was the question again? I don't want to hurt your feelings.
You're not engaging. I'm trying to get you to understand that the United States at no point owned the oil. They don't have a right to just take the oil. Right?
Well, they have the force, don't they?
Okay. So then as long as there's enough force, you could just take whatever you want, right?
If you're the United States, sure, why not? Who's going to stop us?
Okay. So you are justifying theft. And that's the justification. You're strong enough. So basically, if I got a gang of people, I could then take all your stuff because that would be justified.
Yeah. So in your hypothetical, you're ignoring all the crimes that Maduro has allegedly done.
No. I'm perfectly acknowledging that. He's a terrible person. I agree with you. I'm saying you're making a might is right argument. So if I get enough people, I could come to your house, take all your shit. And guess what? That's justifiable to you.
In this specific instance, sure, why not?
Debate's over. I don't know what. Hey, I'll be honest. I don't know what else to say. his concession is that
My concession?
cool. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
arguing that it's
Cool, Vic,
justifiable. How did I lose the
your
debate?
argument is, well, you just lost the debate. You're arguing it's okay to steal if you're strong enough.
I said in this particular instance, First Amendment, how stupid would we be if we went in there, right? Arrested Maduro and then didn't get those oil reserves, which again, U.S. companies, what's it called? They might not have owned the reserves, but they own the machinery. It was stolen from them first. If we didn't take it and use it for ourselves, which benefits you and me.
You're still justifying stealing. I don't care if it benefits me. Yeah, I get it. I could steal your stuff and it would benefit me. That doesn't make it right. This is like elementary school level morality. Like, don't steal other people's stuff.
So we should, okay, go arrest Maduro, right? Arrest Maduro, put him on trial or whatever. Just take back all the refineries and everything like, and just leave the oil alone.
It's not yours.
You didn't answer the question.
No, yeah, you leave the oil alone. It's not yours. You don't own it.
First Amendment, that is freaking dumb.
Okay, and then in your mind, you believe if you're just strong enough, you could just take the stuff and that's justifiable to you. So, justice to you is enough guns. Okay, I guess. I mean, if you want to do that, and I guess if you want to live in like Mad Max, where it's okay for international governments to come in and I mean, hold on. Who's to say
we're living in Mad Max now?
I'm saying if we followed your argument to the nth degree, that's what morality would look like.
So we're Mad Max now, is what you're saying.
I
That's what you said. You said we're mad. We're going to have a Mad Max because we took the oil.
I'm saying if we followed your morality, it would be Mad Max. If everybody believed what you believe for morality and saying that what makes it right is to have enough guns, then you're effectively arguing for a Mad Max society. So here's the thing, right? I'm almost positive that you've got to be a genuinely, like a genuine person, right? You're a genuine person. You have beliefs. I have beliefs. I get that we disagree with one another, but I kind of want to get, us to like at least somewhat on the same page, right? We both agree stealing is wrong, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And just cause I got a bigger stick doesn't mean I have a right to steal from you, right?
Well, rights technically don't exist, but sure.
I'm saying like I shouldn't, like, just from a moral standpoint, it is wrong to steal just because I have a bigger stick.
What morality do you base it from?
Human reason.
Human reason, huh?
Yes.
Just human reason? Okay, so let's go with this human reason. Okay, so let's say a transgender wants to go into a woman's sport, right? Would they be stealing a spot from an actual woman?
What does this have to do with the debate prompt?
Well, you want to moralize on stealing. Would that be stealing a spot from a biological
both agree
woman?
That stealing is wrong.
I mean, but
here you are making a might is right argument. It's not related.
Can you
it's
just
not
engage, please? Can you just engage? I asked you a question. Would that be stealing a spot from a biological woman?
No.
It wouldn't.
Anyway, it has nothing to do. This debate has nothing to do with trans people. I have no idea why you're bringing up trans people. So
it's because that has to do with stealing, and that would be stealing a spot.
We both agree that stealing is wrong. Knowing that Venezuela rightfully owned the reserves, while you might have somewhat of an argument, you could take back the machinery on top. That doesn't give you a right to take the actual oil.
Well, it says who?
Right?
Says who?
Says you. You just agreed that stealing is wrong. Holy crap, dude. How do you have 20,000 subscribers? You agreed to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you're trying to moralize to me that stealing is wrong. Well, where do you get your morality from?
What do you mean trying to moralize to you? We both agree stealing is wrong.
Well, you just said that it's not stealing a spot from a biological woman if a transgender woman goes in there.
We're not talking about trans people.
I guess it varies.
Why do you talk about trans people?
What? Because that has to do with your moralizing to me about
What we
stealing.
can talk
and
about morals. I'm talking specifically about.
Well, that you brought
stealing.
up morals. You said
Yeah, I'm
your
bringing
whole,
up the morality
like,
of stealing based on the debate prompt. The debate prompt is
Oh.
Trump is justified on how he has handled the Venezuela situation. You
he
say
is.
stealing is wrong. Is it fair to say stealing is unjustified considering it's wrong?
Stealing is unjustified. I said in this particular situation because Maduro, again, for all the alleged crimes that he has done and perpetrated against the American people, how he treated his own people. In this situation, it would be stupid if we went in there and didn't take the oil.
Holy
And again,
pivot, Batman. You
he
should be a
took it from
basketball
them.
player. Now, do you want to answer my question?
I did.
No, you didn't. If stealing is wrong, then would it be fair to say that stealing is unjustified?
So we shouldn't have taken the oil. We should just leave it there and be
You
like,
can't
okay.
answer the question. If stealing is wrong, would it be fair to say that stealing is unjustified?
Well, Maduro stole it first.
He can't answer the question.
And by the way,
Dude,
wouldn't it be
just answer the question? Why can't you answer the question?
I did. They stole it first, and taking the oil, wouldn't that be compensation?
I'm once
for
again
everything?
explaining to you that at
You're
no
not
point
engaging. You're
did
not
any
engaging
company ever.
hypothetical.
He's
You're not
crashing out.
engaging.
Did any company
You're crashing
ever
out.
own the reserves? They didn't. We are physically taking the
Wouldn't you
oil
consider
for
that
ourselves.
compensation?
We already did
Wouldn't
that.
you-
We stole from their oil tankers. Trump had acknowledged that we stole from their oil tankers and that we were going to sell it. We don't have a right to that oil. So, knowing that we stole it, I'm going to ask you once again, is stealing justified?
I'm not going to answer that until you answer my
Why
question.
not? I was the one that
I've been trying to ask you.
you.
No, I really. So speakeasy, I was trying to answer him a question.
I can hear you, by the way, if I walk away. These are wireless, Brainiac.
Okay, I wasn't saying anything I didn't want you not to hear, dummy. Anyway, so I was trying to ask you, but you kept interrupting. What about compensation from what they stole from us?
Great, then we can talk about that, but that doesn't give you a
That's what
right
I've
to
been trying
steal
to
the
talk
oil
about.
itself. That doesn't give you a right to steal the oil itself. So I'm going to ask you the question again. You're avoiding it. Is stealing
I
justified?
already answered the question.
No, you didn't. That's a yes or no question. Don't answer my question with another question or obfuscate with further details. I'm asking you, is stealing justified?
Well, wait a minute. I asked you a question you didn't answer. You just said we could talk about it. So let's talk about it then.
Do, 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 do. Is stealing justified? Yes or no?
Is stealing justified? Well, is stealing good? No, stealing isn't good.
Is stealing justified?
Let's
I
say
didn't ask
no,
if it was good or
stealing
bad.
isn't.
I'm asking, is it justified?
Okay, let's just go with no so we could go back to the compensation thing.
Okay. So knowing that you're stating that Trump is justified in how Trump has handled the Venezuela situation, knowing that the Trump administration literally stole, and you are saying that stealing is unjustified, that means you just lost the debate.
So the prompt isn't is stealing justified, was Trump handled the Venezuela situation justified? I've already answered that, by the way. I answered your question so we can move on.
Yeah, and the way that he handled it was that one of the things that he did was he stole from Venezuela.
Well, no, that's compensation.
So he's not
for when Maduro
justified.
stole from us. Okay, if it's compensation, then it's justified, isn't it?
Oh man.
Just to try and bridge a gap here, I think what's happening is, I think Cool Vic is, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, Cool Vic is saying that, yes, stealing is wrong, but in this situation, it wasn't stealing. It was something else.
Yes.
Am
What
I
was it?
correct there?
Yes, you are
What was
correct.
it?
Okay.
It was compensation from what they stole from us.
Okay. So, uh, you're telling me that it's effectively like a spoil of war.
A spoil of what war? We just went and took it. What war are we in? We're going to be back to the other question.
We just deposed the president.
Okay, are we in a war? Or is there a battle going on in Venezuela? U.S. troops versus Venezuelan troops? Is there a war?
Do we have a right to assert control over Venezuela's government and natural resources?
I just asked you a question. No, now who's not answering questions?
Go ahead, ask your question.
I just
wasn't
did.
paying attention.
Are we in a? I wasn't paying attention. Are we in a war with Venezuela right now? Are we having two armies battle? Is it a war going on in Venezuela right now?
I mean, there's not a
Do we
battle right
there?
now at this moment, but
Okay,
you've
then.
already agreed that deposing a leader and taking them for, like, I don't know, for as a prisoner of war is effectively an act of war to the United States. Why would it not be an act of war to Venezuela? Of course it would.
Because we're not in a war.
I'm saying it, yeah, not to us, but it's a war to them.
To
And
who?
just as you would agree that it would be a
The
war, if it
Venezuelan
happened to
people were
you.
celebrating. The Venezuelan people were celebrating. What
It's very,
war?
it's very mixed. It's
Very
and,
mixed.
And by the way, I understand
overwhelming.
why people would initially celebrate, but I guarantee you Venezuelan people are not going to celebrate when they realize that the oil is going to be taken on behalf of the United States' interest and screw the Venezuelan people.
I don't think that's going to screw the Venezuelan people.
What is the one thing Venezuela has that gains them money?
Oh, so is that what's happening? We just took all the oil. We're not going to offer Venezuela any kind of deal or anything like that. Is that what's going on?
I mean, we just deposed them and said that we're going to take the oil. And then we told companies that we would guarantee that. And President Trump said that himself. Yeah, we're going to take the oil. I have zero belief that Donald Trump gives a flying fuck about Venezuelan people.
I don't give a shit what you think about Trump, Amender.
I'm telling you that Trump doesn't care about Venezuelan people. Do you think he honestly cares about Venezuelan people?
Oh, are you a mind reader?
I'm asking you.
I don't know, because I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a
Jesus.
mind reader, so I don't know. Are you a mind reader?
No. But what I can do is
Okay,
look
then.
at previous. What I can do is look at previous actions of what people have done and what are their motivations from there based on their actions. Donald Trump has never shown any desire for taking care of other people. It's always been for himself. He's always benefited himself. That's why he's made over $1.8 billion since taking the presidency. It's made him a lot of money to be that way. So again, I have zero indication that Donald Trump doesn't even care about quote unquote Democrat run cities. Why would I assume he gives a crap about Venezuelan people?
Oh, is that why he's agreed to work with Tim Waltz and Fry in Minnesota? Is that why he's agreed to work with them?
After negotiations with them, and I have no idea what even was struck. And secondly, like just FYI, that only happened after the very much unjustifiably killing of an innocent civilian in broad daylight that nobody can justify.
Okay, so how do you know Trump didn't see that brutal killing, was like, okay, listen, I got to cool the temperatures here since the Democrats don't want to do it, and decided to
Since the
work out
Democrats,
deals
he's the one that caused it.
by trying to
Anyway,
enforce
and
the
also
law.
this has nothing to do with the debate prompt. Once again, this goes against United Nations Charter. This goes against the United States Constitution. This goes against the United Nations Security Councils. This also goes against your own morality. And I point it to you directly, and you just kind of dig your heels in. I don't know what else to tell you. You're just wrong on this debate. Like, listen, I want to approach this on let's learn from one another. Nothing of what you have presented to me, I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming to learning. I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming. Nothing of what you have said is something that I have actually learned. It's all stuff I've already read about. I've already understood these viewpoints, and I took it into consideration. And I says, okay,
Oh,
well,
you
what
did?
does the law
Okay.
actually? Yes. What does the law
okay.
actually say? What the law actually says is against the argument that Trump is justified. A majority of the world agrees with me here.
The majority of the world agrees with you.
Legal
Oh, okay.
scholars, the
Well,
United
shit.
States legal scholars.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. All right. Well, damn, I didn't know that. Legal scholars agree with you? Holy
Yeah.
shit. I had no
Yeah.
clue that. Damn. I don't know why you just didn't open with that and that'd be your only line. I freaking didn't know that. Anyway, they had a warrant for Maduro, okay? And it wasn't started by Trump. It was started a few administrations ago. Even Biden himself, during his presidency, rose the bounty. So it wasn't like this is just a Trump thing, okay? The U.S. has had issues with Maduro going back to 2011.
I mean, I guess that's a good question. Like, what would be a proper legal way to depose Maduro? I get that he was wanted, and I agree with you. That doesn't mean that you can kidnap that president. Yeah, that's what we did.
So if you arrest someone, you're kidnapping them.
Yes, in the case of, he would have diplomatic immunity. You can't just kidnap a sitting president. You're not allowed to do that.
So
under UN charter, as well as the US Constitution.
So we just put bounties on forever and just hope one day they're just like, yeah, I'll just turn myself in.
Well, eventually what happens is that these people lose their majority votes, or they are no longer president, in which case we can collect them. But no, not while they're president. They have diplomatic immunity. It's the same reason why somebody can't come in and collect Donald Trump.
Technically, he is not president, Maduro. He lost his election in his country. Thought you guys were all about democracy. He lost.
He was
and he just
president,
stayed there. Only
technically, he was president.
The people didn't want him, so he just, okay. Oh, now, if you want to go to morality, do you think that's right?
No.
Okay. So, but he was, do you think, so he was president just because he called himself president? He's in charge and he just called himself president?
That he had called, no, he had deposed people that were running against him.
So if Donald Trump did that, let's say in this next election, if he just decided, like, let's say he loses and then he just decides to like depose of his opponent and just declared himself president, you would think, oh, okay, well, he's president. That's our president.
Actually, I think that's a question I should ask you these midterms coming up. Do you think that if Donald Trump did that, that he'd be justified in doing that?
Well, you didn't answer my question.
No, I don't think anybody is justified in doing that. Now, do you think Donald Trump,
so Trump
did that during the midterms? If Donald Trump did that during the midterms, do you think that he shouldn't be president?
I'll just wait till you're done. Okay, you didn't actually answer the question. I said, would you call Donald Trump? No, you didn't. I asked if you would consider Donald Trump the president if he did that.
If I would consider Donald Trump is the president, whether I like it or not.
Okay, so if you were to do that and he just stayed in president, you would be like, that is my president, whether I like it or not. He's President Trump. I wouldn't
like it, but technically he would be the president.
Okay, so you would still consider him the president in that case. You wouldn't be like, oh, he's
legally speaking, blah, blah, yeah.
Blah. Okay. Now you want to re-ask your question again?
So again, Maduro has diplomatic immunity. You can't just collect him, legally speaking, right?
Well, going back to it, he's not the president. He lost.
Again, you can't just depose them. I conceded, yeah, you would have to acknowledge that he's still the president. So under that pretense, I'm asking you, you don't have a legal justification to being able to depose them. And you also conceded on the oil bit. You were incapable of handling the oil argument, and now you're incapable of handling this argument.
So yeah, so just because you wouldn't consider Trump the president, like I wouldn't consider him a legal president if he did that, for the record. But
okay, I'll hold you to that. Time come the midterms.
Okay, so what about the midterms now?
It wouldn't surprise me if Trump will get into all sorts of shenanigans to enable the Republicans' control in the midterms.
Like what, First Amender?
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you have an
Maybe
idea.
maybe he calls one of the Democrat leaders running against him a narco terrorist, and then tries to arrest him. Maybe.
Well, that's crazy.
Which
What
would be
other
totally
theories?
justified by your eyes.
What other theories would you have?
I'm just saying as an example, that would be very likely. It would not surprise me.
Okay, well, what other theories do you think he would have that he would do?
I don't know. I would have to speculate. But again, I mean, none of this is addressing the theft of oil, nor does it address international law or the U.S. Constitution or the United Nations Charter. Donald Trump is going blatantly against all of those things, and a majority of countries agree.
Okay, you keep appealing to the other countries. I don't care what the other countries think.
I understand you don't. You think a bigger stick is what makes right, which is one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard.
Well, it's true. It's just whether I like it or not, it's true.
That doesn't make it justified. Do you see the difference? I get you can get away with it. I get that I could beat you up in a parking lot or something, and I can take your wallet. This is figuratively speaking. I'm never going to do that, by the way. I get that it could be possible, but that doesn't make it justified.
Okay. All right. So anything else?
You have no rebuttal.
Yeah, well, I'm just because you're the one who brought up the whole if I have the bigger stick, and I'm just saying, and you were coming at me with the whole, well, you think that if someone has a bigger stick, then blah blah blah, and I'm just like, well, whether you like it or not, that's just the facts. And you keep talking about whether it's right.
I get
or
that
justified.
It's the quote unquote facts. That doesn't make it justified.
Well, we had an arrest warrant for Maduro this whole time, and it didn't start with
okay,
Trump.
but he's a president. You can't just depose a president by law.
He didn't even win his election.
Yes, he did technically. I mean, whatever. I mean, we can argue with the validity of the election. I don't know. We would have to investigate that specifically why he shouldn't be president. But he was technically president. He was in the United Nations. He was a leader of Venezuela. You can't just grab him and extradite him to the United States. You can't do that by law. If that was legal, then therefore just about any country that doesn't like Trump could potentially do the same to Trump.
And again, I would like to see them try.
But under your idea, it would be justified if they have enough might.
Well, they don't have enough might. That's the thing.
I'm asking you, if they had enough might, would it be justified?
Let's see. If they were to do it to our president, yeah. Well, justified. I don't know about justified, but I wouldn't like it.
No, right? It's not justified.
I wouldn't like it.
Like, listen, I don't want anything bad to happen to Trump. I would not think it's justified that some foreign body, I don't know, raids the White House and grabs him or pulls him out of Mar-a-Lago while he's golfing or whatever.
Is there any arrest warrants for Trump from anywhere in the world?
I'm actually kind of curious. Maybe there is.
Okay, well, I don't think there is.
I'm not sure, but I'm saying if there were. Iraq issued an arrest warrant.
For Trump specifically?
Yep.
For what?
It looks like this was on the new Arab Iraqi officials seeking stronger U.S. ties amid Trump arrest warrant. I'll go ahead and share it real quick. Grant you, I want to let you know that I'm not in favor of Iraq coming in and deposing Trump and physically taking him. I'm saying, like, just because you have an arrest warrant doesn't mean that you should be able to depose a sitting president. So I'll share my screen real quick. Where is it? Hold on. This here? U.S.-Iraq relations. Let's see. Yep, already strained by an Iraqi arrest warrant issued 2021 for Trump. Warrant stems from a 2020 U.S. drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani and Iraqi militia leader Abdul Mahdi al-Muhadis. So yes, there is an arrest warrant for Trump, according to Iraq. So by your logic, it would be fair to say that since there's an arrest warrant for Trump, if Iraq showed up with enough guys at, say, Mar-a-Lago, they would be justified.
I mean, I guess they would. I mean, I wouldn't like it though, but I would like to see them try.
I don't think they would.
You don't think they would?
Be
Well,
justified?
why?
Absolutely not. No.
Well, why?
This is why United Nations charters are important. That's why other countries getting in on this is important, right? I understand you don't care what other countries think, but having countries agreeing to sets of terms and conditions saying, hey, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, is important. It makes it justified to not do a thing. So Donald Trump specifically deposing Maduro is unjustified. And this is just grabbing him and his wife. I don't know why you would even grab his wife. What's the point of that? That's just kidnapping at that point. What did his wife do exactly? She didn't have any power. And you're going to take these people, extradite them to the United States, have a completely classified hearing. Who knows what the hell is going on? We don't know what's in the evidence. We don't know anything.
Okay. So, you just made me lose my freaking train of thought. I had a rebuttal to that and I freaking forgot it. Oh yeah. Then so how come he hasn't been brought up on charges? How come there has been no arrest of Donald Trump for this or anything like that? How come that hasn't happened?
Because Donald Trump is the leader of the world's most powerful government on planet Earth. And he has also filled himself with, and including the Department of Justice, a bunch of sycophants that will look the other way for every little thing that he does.
Okay, so you acknowledge that, yes, we are the most powerful in the world, but also how come no other presidents, again, this isn't the first time this has happened. Other presidents done this, okay? Like they have broken international law. How come they were never arrested?
So I agree with you that we could look at things like, Obama's drone strikes or Bush's war in Iraq. And I do believe that these people should be tried. I think that would make it more just. But again, the question is Trump justified in how he has handled the Venezuela situation? And to me, the answer is pretty clear. The answer is no. And I am consistent. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat. I'm looking at what is just, what is the right thing to do.
Well, the reason I brought up the other presidents is because you made it specifically about Trump. You're like, Trump has all these sycophants working for him in the Department of Justice, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, what about the other presidents that didn't get arrested for this, though? I asked you a question about Trump.
If there are instances of other presidents doing bad things to other countries, then they should be tried as well. I'm not against that. I don't care if it's Obama, Trump, Biden. I don't care. None of that matters. What matters is upholding a just and peaceful world. Trump is not justified in grabbing Nicolas Maduro and his wife and then going for, I can't even say if it's a show trial or not, because we don't even know what the trial is about. They won't show it. It's classified. Don't you think it's weird that it's classified? Why wouldn't they show that?
I don't think it's weird that it's classified. Why should it be shared? Like, why? What good is that going to do?
So that way we know things are being done in a just way and people can review it. It's the first time the United States has ever extradited a sitting president. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, but Like I don't see what. So okay, so we look it over and we go, yep, okay. Like even if I read it over and I spurg out and be like, no, this is actually wrong. Okay, what are we going to do about that?
Well, wouldn't it be a good thing that like we know that they're actually following the UN Charter? They're not doing that. We know they're not doing that.
Oh, we okay.
They're also not
Yeah.
following the U.S. Constitution.
Wait, what U.S. Constitution? I mean, well, not
The,
what, but
the
like what
U.S.
part?
Constitution.
No, yeah, I
I
misspoke.
in my intro.
I misspoke.
I listed it in my intro.
Yeah, what part?
No, you can't use you have to use the congressional approval.
Yeah, but there's so many people working against Trump in Congress. Do you think it would be smart to do that? Like
What?
it was a
they have the majority in Congress.
No, all it takes is for one person to leak. Here are the plans for that operation to go awry.
But it has to have congressional approval. Despite how you feel, despite how it is, you can't simply depose a sitting president without congressional approval.
Yeah, there's
That
a lot
is
of
an
things.
act of that is a potential act of war, and you've already agreed that it would basically be an act of war if somebody did that to President Trump. If Iraq showed up with 1,000 guys and they overwhelmed the scant military that's there in Mar-a-Lago, and then they take Trump, you would not consider that justified. Obviously not, right?
Listen, here's the thing is like, I want to there's things I want to ask you or bring up, but then you cut me off and you prattle and then I fucking forget.
Well, you do
Anyway,
me a favor, right? Get a notepad out and write down what it is that you want to say and then say the thing. I don't.
Yeah, but then I won't be fully paying attention, will I? So listen, here's the thing.
I could think and I can
so
listen
all
to you
it
and
all it
type
takes
at the
is
same time.
There's a lot of things that shouldn't be done. Okay, if someone were to leak that shouldn't be done either, right? Wouldn't that be going against America's interest?
I'm sure there's lots of things that would go against America's interest that would break the Constitution.
So that's a yes.
I think it's in favor of America's interest to enact red flag laws, and some people think that breaks the Second Amendment. I don't think it does, considering the fact that it's a well-regulated militia, and that we already have regulations on guns. But some people have that perspective. So here's the thing.
So the answer is yes. Then that would go against America's interest.
Here's the thing. Yes, sometimes following the law goes against America's interest. Yes. Like
Wait.
Here, it's in America's interest to, I don't know, go to Australia, kill all the Australians, and then take Australia for our own resources. There's a lot of good resources there. It would be in America's interest to do something like that. Is that right? Is that justified? Absolutely not. It would be a genocide of Australian people. It would be using a big giant gun, which to you, that's somehow justified. Here's the thing. Drug trafficking, however devastating, that doesn't constitute an armed attack or nor is it recognized under any interpretation of international law. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the leaking, though, you just said, oh, okay, well, that would go against America's best interest, but you said, well, as long as it's legal. But still, like, that's why he didn't want to ask congressional approval, because there's so many people working against him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's against the law, which is that would be unjust if you didn't follow the law, right?
Yeah. So then how would that be useful?
Is it unjust if you don't follow the law?
I'm not finished, Amender. So how useful
it was a
would
question.
It be if you're trying
not answering
to?
The question.
I was still talking. You can't just ask questions.
Question. It's because
you can't just ask questions while I'm talking.
That was a yes or no question.
Because I was still talking, First Amender. Okay, you can't just ask me a question while you're the one that's like, "Oh, can you just engage, please?" Oh, you're the one crying over it. So going back early, how useful do you think it would be that we have this operation, right? And then they get congressional approval, and then they leak it, and then Maduro gets away. Like that was a pretty that operation was pretty precise. Everything had to go perfect in order to pull that off, and it was a great operation. It was a perfect operation. That everything had to be perfect. They couldn't risk anything.
Okay, you still require congressional approval. Like, it doesn't matter if it was perfect or whatever. To do what Trump did requires congressional approval. I would imagine following the law would in fact be just, and not following the law would be unjust. Donald Trump specifically didn't follow the law. I get that it's not pragmatic. That doesn't matter. You still require congressional approval to do that.
Yeah. So do you think the law is always moral?
No.
Okay, then. So why are you like, well, he still has to follow the law?
Because that's what's just versus unjust, not
Okay,
what's
so
moral
following the
versus
law-
immoral.
You're the one who brought up morality. So, okay, so the law, following the law is just, but following, so the
You
law
brought
comes
up
before
morality just now. What do
You brought up
mean?
morality. No, earlier in this debate, First Amender. Anyway, so following the law is more important than morality. Following the law
Man.
is more important than morality. Is that
If
what
you
you're
can
saying?
get 20,000 subscribers, I can get 100,000. I promise
Well,
you.
how come you don't? You seem to have a lot of struggle with that, First Amender.
Actually, I've been growing. You'll see. You'll see. Watch me. Watch me.
Yeah, very slowly
By the
but
way,
surely.
subscribe if you like me fucking owning this fucking 20K subscriber boy. All right. Take a look at this, right? This is from the New York
Hey,
bar.
answer my question. I asked you a question, Mister. You got to answer my question.
What's your
So
question?
following the law, following the law is more important than following morality.
So if you're asking, no, I believe following morality is more important than following the law. Yes.
Okay, then. Well, then there you go. So it doesn't matter if he got the congressional approval. And by the way,
Okay.
he wasn't the first president not to get congressional approval.
That would mean he's unjustified in how he handled the Venezuela situation.
Well, no,
Right,
he's
'cause
completely
he's-
justified because there was a warrant.
Yeah. All right. So
That wasn't started by him, by the way.
So get this, right? This is straight from the New York bar. This is the New York bar analyzing what Donald Trump had did. This is the legal experts. This is the people that you need to go to if you plan on practicing in the state of New York. It says here, the administration's reliance on self-defense to justify its actions in Venezuela, premised on the alleged drug trafficking linked to the Venezuelan government, has no basis in international law. The self-defense exemption of Article 51 of the Charter is narrow and applies only in response to an actual or imminent armed attack. Drug trafficking, however devastating, does not constitute an armed attack under any recognized interpretation of international law. Accepting such a theory would undercut the Charter's central prohibition and convert self-defense from a limited exception into a standing license for unilateral war. As Professional Uwa Hathaway, a professional of international law at Yale School and director of the Yale Law School Center of Global Legal Challenges, recently explained, if drug trafficking could justify an attack, so too could communicable diseases, migration flows, or economic harm, leaving no meaningful legal limit on the unilateral use of force. That's not the letter of the law, and so therefore it would not be justified, right?
Well, how come he hasn't been arrested for Amender?
I've already explained this. You're asking the same question and you want to what? Me to explain it?
It keeps
the
coming
same question
around to
again?
this because it keeps coming around. You keep saying he broke international.
He's
he did this
surrounded
stuff.
himself
How
with
come he
sycophants. That's why
hasn't-
he hasn't been tried. He's
Then how
surrounded
come-
himself. He has filled the
Going
Department
around
of Justice
again,
with a
going
bunch of
around again.
morons that will follow everything that he says, despite the fact that he is blatantly breaking the law.
Yeah. Okay. So then how come if it's just him and he's filled up with sycophants and stuff, how come the previous presidents haven't been arrested for when they did the same thing and broken international law?
I believe that they should, but many have not done so. I mean, if you have an argument there, and I agree with you, those are also unjust. York, the question is not whether or not that they have been arrested. The question is Trump justified in how he has handled the Venezuela situation? And strictly by even United States Charter, or the UN Charter or international law, no, he's not justified. He's broken literally almost every freaking law in the book on this. And international law scholars agree with this.
Okay, are the scholars going to be recommending arrests?
I think by the time that Donald Trump loses power, and everybody that signed up for this, that curtailed justice in favor of Donald Trump and let him do whatever he wanted, I think that there will be legal precedent to go after people like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Democrats are coming for it. Yeah. I think that's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you laugh at international law standards and, you know,
I'm
anything
laughing
that
at
is just, and
you.
say, as long as I have the biggest stick, that makes me right, as if that's
laughing at
remotely
you.
justified.
No, because you're a mystery. Yep. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Again, but who would arrest Trump if that were the case? If he broke international law, who would arrest Trump?
I think Trump will be dead by the time that he is done. It would not surprise me if Trump died midway through his presidency. He's old. He's really old. I don't think anything's going to happen to Trump, but likely what will happen are the people that curtailed to Trump and let him get away with blatantly breaking the law when they were in a seat of power to actually do something about it.
Isn't that what you're hoping for, though? Aren't you hoping like, oh yeah, Trump's old any day now?
I don't think I'm hoping. I think that will happen. I don't need to hope.
Well, eventually, of course, he's going to die. We're all going to die.
No, not that he's going to die. I'm saying that people that look the other way for Trump blatantly breaking the law. I mean, this is much worse than even the Watergate scandal. Like it blows me away that we went completely insane over the Watergate scandal. This is way worse than the Watergate scandal. And you're acting like it's nothing, like it doesn't matter. Like we are so desensitized to this that something like the Watergate scandal, that was horrible, nightmare, terrible thing. But you know, that it literally shook the ground of Republicans. And yet now we look at this and we're like, whatever. He just took a president. Who cares?
Well, I mean, yeah, he was a drug head of the the cartel of the Suns, trafficking drugs and stuff.
Drug trafficking doesn't constitute an armed attack under any recognized interpretation of international law. And the New York bar agrees with that.
Okay, so why isn't he being arrested?
Because he's the president. He's immune, idiot.
I thought no one was above the law, First Amender.
Oh my God. Well,
according to Trump,
he is now above the law. Yeah, but that doesn't make it justified. It's unjust.
Presidents, not just him. Previous presidents.
I don't know what else.
Weren't arrested either.
I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know. This is
just
wild.
like you keep saying. Well, he broke international law. This legal
because you can't address it.
Why
hasn't
hasn't
addressed anything of what I've said?
Why hasn't he been arrested?
He keeps doing it. It's.
Well, you're not answering the question because how?
Yes, I have. I've answered it.
Guaranteed.
I've answered it up teen ways. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you got to get a notepad to determine what are my answers. Because I don't know. Maybe you've got dementia like Donald Trump. Maybe you're suffering a stroke,
or like Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I keep asking. Why has he been arrested? You're so sure he's broken international law and stuff. Then why hasn't he been arrested? You just keep saying, well, he's the president. He's immune. Okay, well, then if he's immune, then technically he didn't break any law then.
Okay. Keep telling yourself that. It makes it unjust. Just because people are just like, oh, he didn't do anything
wrong. How is it unjust if he's able to do it? If he's immune, how is it unjust then? Then you're just bringing up a morality.
If I am able to show up to a parking lot and shoot you and then take your stuff, that doesn't make it just, right? I get that I can do it. Somebody could do that, right? But that doesn't make
you're bringing it back to morality. You're bringing it back to morality.
Yeah, we can bring up the morality, and your morality is stealing's okay as long as you're strong enough.
I didn't say it was okay.
Yeah, you did.
I never said it was okay.
I've already clipped that short. That short. This video isn't even done. I've already clipped that short.
I even said I was
insane.
with might makes smart right, or with might makes, it's might makes, not might makes right.
So when you say that, hey, we're strong enough, we could just take it, that's literally what might makes right to you. Because
No,
the
it's just
question is
might
whether or not
makes.
is Trump is justified.
And
You
he was,
understand?
because Maduro was committing crimes by trafficking drugs, which if we're going to
Yeah,
be wrecking
again, not
morality,
a justification
because you
to
keep
depose a
switching.
president.
No, because
It's
you
not a
keep
justification to
switching
depose
from
a
law
president.
to morality.
Yeah, because
keep
you
switching
can't
from
address
law
either
to
of them.
morality.
Yeah, you can't
No.
address either of them.
I
Under
have,
no
and
matter what
you
angle
can't
I
address
take, it doesn't
You can't
work.
address it. No,
I did.
you
I've
can't
addressed it
address
multiple times.
No, you haven't. I asked why hasn't it being arrested, and you just
We
laughed
gotta
and
go to
well, he's immune.
Q&A. This
And
guy is
so
on
if
crash out mode.
yeah, okay, you keep coping. So if he's immune, then legally he didn't do anything wrong. Then so
Republican
you have to bring
tears.
it out. Okay. Anyway, so if
So good.
if he didn't break any law, then you have to bring it back to morality, which you keep switching back and forth to.
I can bring up the morality, it's wrong, and I can bring up the legality, it's wrong. No matter what angle I look at it, it's wrong. It's just wrong, right? And I brought up relevant information to show that it is wrong, even by United States standards. You can completely ignore the international community; it's still wrong.
Then why hasn't he been arrested under law?
Because he's the president.
Well, then he didn't do anything wrong then legally. If he's the president.
That's not how that works. Can Biden do something wrong? If he's
I
president,
thought no one was above the law.
Can Biden do something wrong?
Well, if we're talking about legally, yes, of course he has. But what international
But he's
laws
the
have been
president. How can
broken?
he do something wrong?
All right. So that is the hour of back and forth. Usually I like these days we've been offering, I don't know, it seemed like we were going around in circles a little at the end, but I do still like to offer, but before we go into closings, if you guys wanted an extra 30 minutes of open floor.
No, I'm good. We've been going around in circles.
Okay, perfect. So first off, we let everyone in the chat know that we are going to be getting into the final stage here. Okay, we're going to get into the closing statement. Just a reminder for everyone in the chat. Okay, the Q&A is there, but if you want to make sure your questions get answered, send a super chat, PayPal, or Cash App, because these will take priority. And if it takes the whole 30 minutes of the Q&A, we may not get to the free chat questions. So if there's something you really want guaranteed, make sure you send it through one of those options. All right. So with that being said, we're going to move into closing statements. Each debater is going to get 5 minutes to make their final case here. So we're going to start with Kewl. Kewl, whenever you're ready to make your closing statement, I will start the timer up with your voice.
Yeah. So listen, like I said, if he did something illegal, and how come he hasn't been arrested yet? Okay, well, if he's immune to it, well, then there you go. Then I guess technically he didn't bring any break any laws. If it's a morality thing, I would like to know what First Amender's morality basis other than human reasoning. Bottom line is Maduro, we had a warrant out for Maduro's arrest, and we arrested him. We did it seamlessly. The Venezuelan people are happy. He was committing crimes even morally and legally against this country. President Trump wasn't the one that put out the warrant for his arrest. Again, this started back in 2011 under Obama. Joe Biden even raised the bounty. So this isn't just a Trump thing. Okay, this is us going against Maduro has been a thing since 2011. So do I think Donald Trump was just? Yes, I do think he was. And I'll see the rest of my time. Oh, and also hold on. Also, even though it get heated, I would like to thank First Amender for this debate. Thank you very much. And also thank you once again to Speakeasy for hosting this debate and having me on for my first time. Thank you guys very much.
All right. Thank you for that closing statement. And with that, we are going to hand the mic over to First Amender. So whenever you're ready, First Amender, for your closing statement, I will start the timer up with your voice.
Yep. The New York Bar Association condemns in the strongest possible terms President Donald Trump's decision to use U.S. military force in Venezuela to seize President Nicolas Maduro, assert control over the country's oil reserves, and effectively run the nation until a new leader is acceptable to the Trump administration is installed. These actions are blatantly illegal under both U.S. constitutional law as well as international law. First, under U.S. law, the president does not have authority to initiate hostilities against a foreign nation without congressional approval. Article 1 of the Constitution explicitly gives Congress, not the president, the power to declare war. The War Powers Resolution Act of 1973 reinforces this, allowing unilateral presidential action only in cases of self-defense or to protect U.S. forces. Venezuela did not attack the United States, and the administration has cited no statute authorizing this operation. Calling a military invasion a law enforcement action does not change its legal reality. Second, the administration's claims that operation was merely to arrest Maduro on U.S. criminal charges is plainly a pretext. Arresting a foreign head of state through military incursion is not law enforcement, it is regime change by force. The seizure of territory, resources, and political control confirms that this was never about a simple arrest. Under international law, the illegality is just as clear. The United Nations Charter, a binding treaty that is ratified by the United States, prohibits the threat or use of force against another nation except in self-defense or with Security Council authorization. Neither condition is met here. Venezuela did not consent. The United Nations did not authorize force, and there was no armed attack against the United States. The administration's attempt to justify this invasion as an act of self-defense based on alleged drug trafficking tied to the Venezuelan government has no basis in international law. Self-defense under the United Nations Charter applies only to actual imminent armed attacks. Drug trafficking, however serious, is not an armed attack. Accepting this argument would effectively erase the Charter's limits on war and would allow military invasions based on almost any cross-border harm, from migration to disease to economic disruption. Nor does the existence of criminal charges against Maduro justify military force. Criminal jurisdiction and head of state immunity are legal questions for courts, not excuses for invasion. Historically, when the United States has used force abroad for arrests, it has been done either with the host nation's consent or in response to armed attacks. Neither applies here. The administration has also suggested that Maduro's disputed legitimacy in Venezuela's human rights violations justify intervention. The bar has condemned those abuses, including Venezuela's illegitimate 2024 election, but violations of democracy or human rights do not authorize unilateral military action. If they did, the prohibition on war would be meaningless. Most alarming is that the president stated his intention to, quote unquote, run Venezuela and control its oil industry. There is no legal basis, domestic or international, for the United States to govern foreign country or seize its natural resources. This constitutes as an unlawful military occupation and pillage, conducted prohibition even during wartime. The president also has no constitutional authority to administer foreign state or occupy it without explicit congressional authorization and funding. History underscores the danger of this path. When the United States invaded Panama in 1989 and seized its leader, the action was widely condemned by the international community as a violation of international law. That invasion damaged U.S. credibility and reinforced global resistance to unilateral military force. President Trump's action represent a return to discredited gunboat diplomacy, the idea that might makes right. For decades, the United States has worked imperfectly but intentionally to replace the model with an international system governed by law rather than force. This operation abandons that commitment. Congress must act. Members of Congress are bound by their oaths to defend the Constitution and the United States treaties, including the United States Charter. At minimum, Congress should pass a resolution condemning the abduction of Maduro and any attempt to control Venezuela or its oil resources, and immediately block funding for any continued occupation or intervention. If those measures fail, Congress must turn to its remaining constitutional tool, impeachment, to retrain a president whose lawless action threatened not only American democracy, but global peace and stability. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you for that closing statement. And that will conclude the closing statements. Great work from both debaters tonight. Again, in the chat there, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the debates we host here on Swords of Reason. We run all kinds of matchups, political, cultural, social, philosophy, internet beefs even, okay? Anything where the conversation is worth clashing over, we bring it in the arena. And don't forget to subscribe to tonight's debaters as well. Their links are both in the description. Make sure you show them some support for stepping into the arena and sharpening their arguments tonight for us all. All right. And before I start the timer for the chat Q&A, I always like to ask a question or two to each debater myself based on either things I heard, argument I want clarified, something I think was missed, anything like that. And then once those questions are answered, we'll get into the official 30-minute Q&A. So my first questions are going to be for the affirmative. So if even if Maduro is like a bad actor, we'll just say the word bad actor for the numerous things he's allegedly done, what limits should exist on the U.S. power abroad, and how do you know Trump didn't cross that line here?
Yeah, and that's a good question. The limit, like obviously there's going to be going too far. Like if Trump were to just, like, honestly, like, you know, starting a new war, like, you know, not a fan of new wars and such, which we're not in with Venezuela. It was just a swift operation. We're not sending troops over there. There's not an active war going on. So with the Maduro, like, if it was just like an innocent leader or something, that would be different. But Maduro was not an innocent. So I guess that's all I got to say.
All right. All right. Did you have anything for that, first Amender?
No,
All
but
right.
that'll be a great clip.
All right. And then the next question is if our intervention leads to like instability now, or like sanctions backfiring, or a bunch of civilians suffering, like what point would it have to reach now for the for what happened to stop being justified?
It would have to get to the point where it was for them now under Maduro's reign. It would have to be just as bad or worse than that, I would think.
Okay. And did you have anything for that, first Amender?
Could you repeat your question? I was reading something.
Yeah, I had asked if like the intervention leads to like what we had done now leads to like sanctions backfiring or a whole bunch of civilian suffering. At what point, like what would it take for what we did to be to stop being justified?
I mean, there's an argument to be made. Let's say, for example, like that Maduro is an illegitimate leader. Then, I mean, I would be okay with putting Maduro back, but that there's international pressure to depose Maduro.
All right. And then then we'll move on to my questions for you. So if there is a foreign regime that is tied to drug trafficking that like is directly harming U.S. citizens, what specific line must be crossed before what we did becomes justified?
Military involvement is probably the issue that I uphold. There have been covert actions that have been done by the United States in the past, also ethically dubious, but one might be able to argue that that there would be some need for it. For example, CIA action, but I'm not even a fan of that.
All right. And did you have something for that, Kulvik?
No.
Okay. And then my next question is for First Amender is so what would be the realistic like alternative policy that would have produced better results without still empowering Maduro?
I don't know. That's a complex question. I would have to deal with international experts on that. I would likely want to get with coalition with, say, for example, China, and actually have trade agreements that would prevent Maduro from gaining more power.
All right. And did you have anything for that, Kuvik?
No.
All right. All right. So that we will get into the official Q&A here. We're going to start. Remember, guys, super chats and PayPals and Cash Apps gets priority. So if that fills up the whole 30 minutes, we may not get to your questions. So if you want to make sure you get something in, send it that way. But we don't have too much. We may get to it. We'll see. But let's start the timer up. First thing, we had War Dog bumping up the membership. Shout out to you, War Dog. Thank you very much. Then we have Anthony Salea says, I'd like to see First Amender with his posse try to take anyone's shit. I think he's referring to
the benefit that you have there is the fact that I think stealing is wrong, despite having more force to do so.
All right. All right. $2 comes in from War Dog, says, explain taxes then.
Taxes are a justified use. I mean, if you want me to go into, you specifically benefit from taxation. There are people that are more educated around you as a result of taxes. We generate money by force, which, let's face it, I mean, the person who made this comment likely doesn't even own a house. So I have no idea what he's even complaining about in terms of quote unquote taxes. I likely pay more in taxes than this guy. The taxes themselves are done so that way society functions. One day, you will become old and you will be infirmed and incapable of taking care of yourself. This requires entire systems to be functional, which means taxation. So yes, taxation is just.
Do you think all taxes are just?
No.
Okay, so what about those taxes then? Would that be considered stealing?
Maybe. We would have to discuss what specific taxes that we're talking about. I know that there's certain tax credits that I find morally abhorrent. And we could talk about that.
So wait, tax credits that you find abhorrent, like which ones?
There's like one that's called, it's not capital gains, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. I remember writing about it in a video. Basically, it's a tax exemption for hedge fund owners, where it's effectively like multi-billionaire level of money. Just these faceless business people that they manage a hedge fund, and they give, I think it's like 8 or 9% to all of their investors, while they keep the rest of it for themselves. So let's say if they make 30% within that year with everybody else's money, they give the 9% to all of their investors, but then they take the rest of 21%. And then that is taxed actually at a lower rate than somebody making $50,000 a year, which I find morally abhorrent.
All right. We got Anthony Salea for $2 says, can I be Melly Gibson in Mad Max? Sure, Anthony. Yes, you can. I agree. Kokomo comes in for 20, says, just some love for speaking, Alicia. Thank you very much, Kokomo. I appreciate that big time. Anthony Salea says, for $5, says, are you controlling the water in the Citadel, First Amender? I see the starving populace in your background. Why are you controlling all the water? I see the waterfall. I get it.
It's mine.
Mo Rebuttal, member for 3 months. Thank you, Mo. In the lease with the U.S. oil companies, they did have the right to extract, take title, and sell oil once produced. Functionally, they stole it.
Yeah, again, they don't have ownership of the reserves. Try again. You could just Google this. They never owned the reserves.
All right. Gravios24 for $20 says, I wouldn't even look at it as stealing. Moreso, it's spoils of a very short war. If you don't have the strength to defend your oil from other nations, it ain't your oil.
Yeah, so this is the same might is right argument. And so it to you, it is just as long as that I have enough guns. I don't think that's what's just. And I would hope that most world leaders don't think like you, like freaking psycho. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is not just. Like, stealing people just because you have more force doesn't make it right. I'm sorry.
All right. $10 comes in from How Long Nate. This is for First Amender. The U.S. military took oil in the compensation for the equipment. Chavez stole it from U.S. companies. It wasn't stealing. It was repossession in kind.
I don't know what you're talking about specifically. I would have to look at like specifically what is going on there. I don't know. I would have to.
Okay. For $5, Premonition says Trump has paid off people's homes when in need. He has been helping people for years. He doesn't seek the attention for it.
What's so funny about that, First Amender?
He doesn't seek the attention. What the fuck? He's like the most famous person, like short of Adolf Hitler. What do you mean? He's the most attention-seeking person on planet Earth. Holy crap. Oh my God. That's like I look at Milo Yiannopoulos. It's like he's not gay. Like look at him, he's gay as shit. Like what do you?
All right. Thank you for that premonition. $5 from Wardog. Thank you very much. Every president has made money while in office, but Trump is also the only president to lose money in office as well.
Well, he made a lot more money than most other presidents. Like $1.5 billion is nothing to cough at. I'm not aware of any president that's made that much money. He's clearly benefited from the U.S. presidency, considering the fact, I mean, number one, he's not in prison because he's a president.
All right. How Long Nate for $10 says First Amender's whole argument is Orange Man bad faith, emotional appeals do not constitute arguments. Vic rules, by the way, UN, NATO, and international courts have no teeth without the USA.
Also, the U.S. Constitution, don't forget that one. But I guess, does that have no teeth as well? But okay. And I love that I brought up relevant case law. And you say my entire argument is Orange Man bad. If Biden was doing this, I would say that it goes against international law and I would be against it. This has nothing to do with Orange Man. This has to do with an action that is clearly illegal. And I would also argue that it is immoral as well. Stealing is wrong. Yeah, just because you have a bigger stick doesn't make it right. All of these are arguments. And no, it's not an emotional appeal to make that an argument. Holy crap. The guy didn't listen at all.
Well, it's just that judging by your cope laugh a little while ago when asked about how Trump, paid for people's homes and wasn't seeking attention, and also earlier how you're like, do you really think Donald Trump cares about the people of Venezuela? Assuming that you already know what Donald. Well, again, are you a mind reader, First Amender?
I don't have to be a mind reader to see how people act and then be able to understand what somebody is likely thinking. You probably think I'm an idiot, right? Oh, am I a mind reader?
Well, yeah.
No, I look at your actions and then I determine what you're thinking based on what your actions are. Jesus. I have to spell it out for this like grade schooler. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, but what has Trump done that you're like, nah, he can't possibly care about the Venezuelan people?
He has consistently been extremely selfish for his entire life. He has been nothing but that. He received $450 million from his freaking daddy, and that's how he got wealthy. Like, this guy has sunk company after company after company, but despite all of his efforts, he was able to use the Trump name to be able to pull himself back up. That's what it was. He has been selfish his entire life. It has never not been that way. In fact, he's consistently used other people's money to build up things for it to ultimately go bankrupt and to legally put the banks on the hook on it instead of himself. Brilliant, really. Yeah, he's a suit. Yeah. All of those things.
Okay.
All right. $20 comes in from Gravios24 again. Thank you very much, Gravios. Man, First Amender has some serious TDS. Dude is still disingenuous in every talk he gets in.
So it doesn't matter if Trump did this or if Biden did this, it would be the same problem that I'm having. It goes against international law. It's stealing. I don't know what to. It has nothing to do with Trump derangement syndrome. It's me upholding what's right. And a lot of the things that Trump is doing is wrong.
Yeah, actually, a little follow up. You had mentioned earlier that you think past presidents that have done this are wrong too. Like for instance, like when we went and captured Saddam Hussein, like would you have said that was probably wrong too?
I mean, the capture of Saddam Hussein, I would probably say yes, but I think I'm saying yes in hindsight.
Okay.
What about Osama bin Laden? Because Obama didn't get congressional approval either to do that.
Totally okay to do that. No, he did get congressional approval as well as approval from Pakistan to do it.
Okay.
So he was well within the law on that one.
Next one. Oh, I just scrolled myself up. Whoops. Where was I here? Oh, right here. $5 comes in from Prince of Dogs. Hold on now, guys. You might hurt his feelers. Thank you, Prince of Dogs. And Bandit for $2. Oh, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was just coughing. Yeah,
okay. Bandit for $2 says, First Amender going to take Vic to the Leering Center.
Based. Leering Center.
I totally leered stuff tonight.
Well, yeah, we're leering tonight. $5 from Bandit says First Amender just conceded by his own argument. He just lost the debate.
Explain, because Kewl couldn't do it.
I'm wondering what part this came in at too.
Yeah.
But thank you, Bandit, for the $5. $5 from Airborne Animal. Thank you very much. First Amender's logic, as he admitted, is might means right. So President Trump is completely justified in going in and arresting Maduro. W. Cool Vic.
I don't know what debate you were watching because I never made an argument for might is right. That was Cool Vic who made the argument that might makes right. Yes, you did. And I will have a clip on it as well. I remember it very clearly. We have it.
I explicitly, well, are you going to clip the part where I said Mike makes and not might makes right?
Okay.
You're probably not, huh?
All right. Next one comes in from Bandit. First Amender, something being immoral is not the same as it being justified.
I agree. But it's both immoral and unjustified, and I showed how.
All right. $5 comes in from Sir Missile Monkey. Maduro ignoring the results of his own country's election equals he's the recognized leader and president. So elections just don't matter then?
So technically speaking, yes. I mean, is it that a bad thing? Sure. Is that there's something the international community can do with it? That doesn't give you a right to depose the president. No, you don't have that ability to do so, legally speaking.
All right. You got Okay, I thought you were going to say something there, cool, Vic. War Dog for $5 says Biden, who gave the warrant order, thought it was justified.
I mean, you can give a warrant. That doesn't mean you can depose the president and take them away. You're not allowed to do that by international law. That's why Biden didn't do that.
All right. Another $5 from Airborne Animal. Thank you very much. First Amender, like most leftists, has no moral or logical consistency. He makes wild assertions without evidence and knows people's thoughts. Ridiculous.
So I didn't make any wild assertions. I brought up relevant legal precedent. I do have a moral and logical consistency. My morality is based off of human reason and what leads to better outcomes for people. You do not need to appeal to a god to do that. In terms of logical consistency, I find myself constantly trying to plug up any instance of a logical inconsistency, in which case, if somebody is able to find one, I'd be glad to listen to it, hear it out, and then retrain whatever it is that I missed. That has happened to me in the past. I'm always learning. I don't have perfect logic consistency. Neither do I think anybody else, for that matter. But in this particular argument, I did not possess. I don't believe I had any logical inconsistency here. I think it was completely logical. And making wild assertions, bringing up relevant case law is not a wild assertion. It is relevant case law specifically around the topic. It is not a wild assertion to do so. It is relevant and says without evidence. That's just wrong. Again, relevant case law is not without evidence and knows people's thoughts. Yes, it is possible to figure out what somebody is thinking based on actions they take. Yes, we do this all the time. It's called pattern recognition.
All right. Next one comes in just $2 from Sempiternal Chaos, just to show some support. Thank you very much, Chaos. Another $5 from Bandit says, "What is this big pew that overthrew a government? I want one. Hell, I'll take two."
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Bandit. Oh, big pew. I think he means okay. The big guns, you know.
Yeah, the big guns.
Yeah. War Dog for $20 says, "If you have a warrant for crimes and property was seized, oil, in execution of said warrant, why would you consider that unjustified? Does American justice fall short of international justice?"
Yes, it does currently. Under the Trump administration, which was my argument, why it is unjust. And why would I consider it unjustified? We never owned the reserves of oil. We can't just physically take that oil and then just say it's ours just because, I don't know, reparations for perceived drug offenses. Drug offenses do not give you a carte blanche to go in and take a sitting president. You're not allowed to do that by United Nations Charter, United States Constitution, and international bodies. And I've presented my evidence for that, and none of that was rebutted.
All right. Next one is Mike, just coming in and becoming a member. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that big time. Another $5 from Airborne. Thank you very much. It says, "Non-lawyer First Amender keeps making wild legal assertions, which are directly contradicted by the DOJ legal opinions."
Yeah, I would imagine. Here's the thing. Like, if I asked the newscasters of North Korea what they think about North Korea, I'm sure they would like to come up with every single justification to Kim Jong-un. That doesn't make Kim Jong-un right. The Department of Justice was specifically filled in with sycophants of Donald Trump to affirm his position. So of course you're going to find confirmation from that. But we look at other sources that are not impeded by Donald Trump's attempt to fill as many justice departments with sycophants that will follow him to the end of the earth.
All right. And if you have anything for any of this, cool, Vic, you feel free to answer anything too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I know.
We got $10 from Hall Long Nate. First Amender, where did you cite the writer of your closing statement?
Where did I cite the writer of my closing statement? I was just referencing the New York bar.
New York bar. All right. $10 from Trench Deacon. Thank you very much. What are the limits of presidential policing authority as commander in chief? Considering wars like Vietnam or the global war on terror were never officially declared war or authorized by Congress.
Hold on. What are the limits on presidential policing authority as commander in chief, considering war in Vietnam and the global war on terror never officially declared war authorized by They were authorized by Congress. All of those were authorized by Congress. But yes, you're right that they were not legally considered war. Like we haven't done that since World War II, which is really sad, actually.
All right. War Dog for another $5. Thank you very much. Says, if you roofie someone's drink, is that not an attack? If so, then would the drug trade from Venezuela not also be an attack?
If you roofie someone's drink, is that not an attack? If so, would that drug trade from Venezuela also? No, it's just not an attack. It's just not under any pretense. It's just simply not that. I mean, maybe if they're poisoning the president directly, maybe you could make an argument there. But no. Simply drug trafficking is not a justification to that.
What if it was a consistent thing? So let's say it's like let's say it was a married couple and the wife is slowly poisoning her husband. Like every day she prepares his food and puts a little bit of, I don't know, bleach or I don't know, something in it that poisons them each day, gets them sick. Would you consider that an attack?
Yes. I don't know what that has to do with countries, though. I don't know why you think people are equivalent to countries.
People live in countries, so like if people,
but they're not. But a country isn't a person, right?
So if another country is
what a fucking idiot! Holy shit!
You can't say I'm an idiot if I haven't even completed what if I haven't even completed my thought.
Oh my god! Go ahead.
I haven't even completed my thought.
Let Kvik get it off. Yeah.
Go, brain boy. Let's go.
Okay, so if there was a another country and they're smuggling drugs over there to here, and there are people getting hooked on drugs and dying off of drugs over here, you don't consider that an attack?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking about you eating paint chips.
Well, that's a weird thing to say, First Amender, but okay.
All right.
Hold on, easy.
Go ahead.
It's because you want to talk about learning from each other, but then I talk and you're like, I wasn't even paying attention, mister. I just want us to come away and learn from each other. You know, let's just learn from each other. I talk, you talk, and we just learn. And meanwhile, you're like, I'm not considering you didn't even attempt.
You didn't even attempt. So why am I attempting?
How do you know I didn't attempt if you didn't even fucking pay attention?
Because you weren't paying. Because you would ask the same question 4 or 5 times when I've already answered the same question 4 or 5 times. It's clear to me that you're not interested in having a decent debate. You just want to get gotchas. You don't really care about actual debate or learning from one another. It's very clear to me.
Asshole, you're the one that's been like, I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna clip
I'm clipping the shit out of it.
But I'm the one. But I'm the one looking for gotchas.
You're the one that won't engage. I had to ask the question 12 times to get you to answer once on the simplest question. Holy crap.
Anyway, so the question I just asked right now, did I say that multiple times? Well, I wasn't even paying attention, so I don't even know. I want to learn from each other. I want to learn, but I'm not going to listen to what you have to say.
All right. Next one comes in from Red Door Woman for $20. Thank you very much. Department of Justice advised that President Trump had the constitutional authority to order the military to apprehend Nicolas Maduro without explicit prior congressional approval.
Yeah, you need congressional approval to do that. You can't just go to the Department of Justice, get approval to commit an act of war. You need congressional approval as per the United States Constitution.
All right. Mo Rebuttal for $5 says, if you have a lease and end it before the agreement states, you broke it. They stole the time and resources from that time. Use that Q-tip head. Think.
If you lease an end, you broke it. They stole the time and resources from that time. Are you talking about like you're midway through the lease and they're just going to take what, like your security deposit? I mean, this is just not analogous. This is completely separate law, and it now operates at like a state by state basis. It's just not the same thing.
All right. All right. We got $5 comes in from Wicked Wally. Thank you very much. Venezuela nationalized the oil industry, and its previously successful economy was founded on theft for decades. Sounds like selfish behavior.
So I'm not a communist or a socialist. When it comes to the nationalization, I mean, I looked it up. They basically bought it off and then moved on. This also does not mean you therefore have access to the oil reserves. The oil reserves was always owned by Venezuela.
All right. All right. We got your typical Kyle for $10. Thank you very much. First Amender, is the hundreds of thousands of American and Venezuelan lives lost justification to arrest Maduro? Is his drug peddling against international law?
You actually have no proof of that. You don't actually know that. You're just saying that for rhetoric.
I don't know that either, though.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't assume that I know something that I don't.
Oh, you're saying he doesn't know if he is drug.
We don't know. Okay. We don't know what is the level of drug. That's totally classified. We don't know what the evidence is behind that. That's just a claim that has been made by the Department of Justice, and there has been no backing to that. We just don't have that information as civilians. So him saying that hundreds of thousands of Americans lost to Venezuela, we don't know that. We none of us know that.
Okay. If we did find that out though, would it be a justification? I guess.
I mean, to go in and take Maduro, no, that would be against international law. Drug trafficking in and of itself is not a justification to commit an act of war.
All right. Wrath of Reason for $5. Thank you very much. Says, first, your Trump hate stiffy is showing. Put that little thing away. Also, don't disrespect based grandma. Stay. Oh, premonition. Yeah, that's based grandma. Everyone loves based grandma around here. Yeah, thank you very much, Wrath of Reason. Lost Avarice says, let me up. I have a show to get back to. Thank you very much, Avarice, you legend. Then we got another $5 from Bandit. Thank you very much. Says, ironic that he claims the name of First Amender but rejects God. Take 5 minutes to read the whole amendment, and YouTube doesn't like the 2A word.
Take 5 minutes to read the whole amendment. So the Constitution doesn't actually make a mention of God. So I don't know where you're getting that.
Oh, all right. Then we got $10 from Trench Deacon again. Thank you very much. First Amender, way not to answer my question. We all know Congress hasn't warred since World War II. Now, what are the limits of a presidential policing power?
I would have to go through the long list of legal merits behind that and then see what is the relevant case law. I don't know exactly. I would have to read up on it.
All right. All right. $5 again from your typical Kyle. Thank you very much. First Amender, without people, are there still countries?
I understand that countries are people, but I'm saying an individual is not equal to that of an entire country. I love how I get called a moron when I pull in just like basic, like elementary school level thinking. Like you can't even fathom this stuff. I'm showing you the truth and I'm mushing your face into it. And I think you just don't like it. I think you don't like to see it. You would prefer that nothing bad happens with Trump or Trump can do no wrong.
I think that's projection. I think you're coming from it that Trump could do no right.
I think, you know what? Here was an actual example. There was an instance where he wanted to do some, I think there was like a housing project that he was interested in to help the poor. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I actually agree with this. So no, not projection. I'm aware that Trump could do something good and be like, oh, that policy was a good thing.
I still think it's projection.
Okay.
All right. Airborne Animal for $5. Thank you very much. Says UN Charter actually allows for the action that President Trump took. Read it again. It was legal according to the international law.
That's wrong. Why does the international community and every legal scholar disagree with you on this? So either every legal scholar is wrong or maybe you're wrong.
All right. $5 from your typical Kyle again. Thank you very much. So when Trump tells Maduro to stop the drug trafficking into America, is it still not justified? What the fuck are you on?
That's correct. Just because that there's drug trafficking doesn't mean you have a right to depose a president committing a wartime act. That is not the letter of the law, nor is that in UN Charter, nor is that in the U.S. Constitution, nor is that in international law. It breaks literally all laws regarding this.
All right. And one last one here, and it's from your typical Kyle for $2 projection and a nice dash of cope, First Amender. All right. Thank you guys for that, and that right there is going to wrap up the Q&A for tonight. First off, thank you to everyone in the live chat for all the questions, the engagement, the support. Again, this is what allows me to keep bringing you these debates and the entire Swords of Reason experience week after week. So I appreciate every single one of you. And of course, a huge thank you to our debaters for stepping into the arena tonight and sharpening the ideas in front of us all. All right. Before we move on, let me check real quick. Are either of you planning to stay for the open panel tonight?
I gotta head out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could stay for a little bit.
Okay. Perfect. So what we're going to do here, what's happening next is we're going to roll the debate outro song and video. It'll run for about 4 minutes. It's perfect time for everyone to hit the washroom, grab a drink, stretch your legs, whatever you need to do before the open panel begins. During that outro, I'll drop the link in the chat for anyone who wants to join the open panel, test your ideas, continue the conversation on tonight's topic. Anyone is welcome to hop in. Just come ready to, question, debate. And if you're coming to try and just like troll or bring personal drama or any of that stuff, you're just going to get muted and most likely booted. So when you're ahead with that idea, just quit. Okay. And before we run the outro,
anybody that's interested, I am taking calls after this. So if you want to call in and debate a woke or discuss rather a woke liberal, maybe about today's topic or anything else, I am going to be taking open calls. So I appreciate y'all.
All right, there you go. If you guys want to talk to First Amender, head over to his channel. He's going to be taking calls, all right? And before we run the outro, make sure you guys subscribe to both debaters. Their links are in the description. And if you're enjoying the debates, hit the subscribe to the Speakeasy channel as well so you don't miss any of the upcoming Swords of Reason battles. We got every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. This is where logic meets passion. All right, let's roll the outro, and I'll see you all in a few minutes.
Step into the circle where the echoes collide. Truth through the static, no place to hide. Iron tongue, sharpen fire in our breath. We dance with conviction on the edge of death. Your words are bullets, mine are storms. Ideas forged where lightning forms. No retreat, no treason. This is the season. We clash our swords of reason. Cut through lies with steel precision. No faith, no fear, just raw collision. We clash our swords of reason. Facts burn brighter than a prophet's flame. Egos crumble, but the truth remains. Every scar, a mark of thought's crusade. In the battlefield of minds we've made. Speak your truth, but bear the cost. Every claim can still get lost in the war of voice and vision. Feel the friction. We clash our swords of reason. No silence left for indecision. Ideas break with loud precision. We clash our swords of reason. Strike me with logic, I'll bleed my proof. We cut through chaos to carve out truth. Let the sparks fly, let the echo scream. This is no debate, it's a metal dream. We clash our swords of reason. In the storm of thought's collision. Forged in fire, pure precision. We clash our swords of reason. Reason bleeds but never dies. No surrender, no retreat. In the war of words, we find a beat. Swords of reason. Oh.
And we're back. I see there's someone that's new I haven't seen around before in the back. So if you could just throw your cam on, give me like a peace sign, and then you can turn it off to come up. It's the Kewl in the back.
I am
just
so
real quick.
frustrated. No, I'm here for
just real quick,
I brought the Avarice notes, and I brought the big guns. I brought the big guns. The AM, PAM, 10-100. I brought the big guns.
One statement.
Running fucking mouse
He's completely
One
He's
sec,
completely
please,
wrong.
One sec. Kyle, I see you. If you want to turn it off, you can turn it off now. You're good.
According to wartime power resolution of 73. The president can deploy armed forces for up to 60 days anywhere without congressional approval.
It's not even that, Mo.
It's worse than that. 30 days. They have 30 days for safe withdrawal.
We're not even at war. We're not even at war.
No.
We're not even at war.
This isn't a war thing.
We're not. So how do we explain? Okay, so the good.
You don't have to declare war for this.
Operation Southern Spear. Operation Midnight Hammer. Operation Rough Rider. Operation Poseidon Archer. Operation Poseidon Guardian. Operation Comb Tiger. Operation Gumbo Top. I don't understand. These operations go on and on and on. And we did it without Congress approval. Fuck, dude. I'm sitting in the back. God damn it, dude. Fucking running little fucking. He looks like FIFO goes west. Fucking dude. I'm throwing things around. I'm fucking throwing things around the goddamn house. Fucking hate this guy. God. And then he taps me. God. Fuck, dude. I'm crashing.
I like how he played dumb with the least thing too.
Right, fucking dude.
You're just crashing out.
And then he runs. And then he gets mad. Yeah, and I've been mad all day because I've been muted because of Bible study. They muted me during Bible study. God damn it, dude. It's been a day. This has been my day. You clip it. I'm fucking angry.
Energy, you know what I mean?
It's fucking crazy. It's crazy how you can sit here and go, it broke international treaty. So, everyone breaks a treaty. Everybody breaks a treaty. Hey, listen, here's the real question.
What is going on here?
Who's going to stop me?
Was he justified? Like, I want to know if he was justified.
Oh, my God. Fuck.
There's a story.
I need to know if it's justified, first of all.
And then he runs to his other channel like a little bitch boy.
Yeah, you can call in and I can mute you.
Get me where I can mute you. Like, mute me? You kidding me? You gotta pay for that shit. Fucking bitch.
You're crashing out. Come visit me to my channel, please. I'm gonna be taking calls and stuff. You're crashing out.
Damn, well, we know how Avarice feels. How does everyone else feel? Bandit, I see you here in the back. Just wait until we have room. We're at full panel right now, but as soon as someone drops, I'll bring you up.
Yeah, somebody please be on the left right now. Somebody take a left side right now. I swear to God. Come up here and take the left.
Stop it, Avarice. You're not justified in your takes, okay? It was a treaty. I'm
gonna jump on them like a rabid fucking mongoose.
Look, I have a small little mouse here is giving me smooches, and he tells me that he wasn't broken. They broke a treaty, Avarice. They broke the treaty, okay?
And then he says, what does he say? Every legal scholar. Then Ryan Mulaney's not on Law and Order. I remember him defending Trump. Then it's not every legal scholar, you piece of shit. Stop monolithing everything, you fucking mouse. God damn it. Have you seen FIFO? Have you seen American Tail? That's what he is. He's a little fucking mouse. He's a little mouse boy.
Okay. Well, it's Rat Boy, okay? Get it correct. It's Rat Boy.
Your mic's really low, Marte.
It's funny, but I'm just like, bro, Avarice, take a breather. We'll be back. Hold on 1 second. I'll bring it back. I just needed a break from all the spurging.
Yeah.
It's Rat Boy. Get it right, Avarice. You got it wrong, okay? Just like every single one of my scholars is on my side, you know? You don't get it.
They all agree with me.
Yeah.
Y'all agree with me.
I don't understand how he the whole lease thing, he like danced around that. But you can claim all day that the resource is in the ground. There was still a lease in place that was broken whenever they kicked them out. So they are that is their time and resource from that time.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as they took it from the ground,
you can't logically square right. But he's like sitting there playing dumb, like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever.
And then you laughed at base grandma.
It's funny because we confiscated it. We didn't steal that. So if you have wildlife fishing game and you have a deer out of season, they can't take your truck. If you're drinking and driving and you go to prison, they're not going to impound your car. We do this internationally too, all the time too. So there's a difference between confiscation and forfeiting your stuff as a wanted criminal. Matter of fact, the previous administration put out a $50 million bounty out on him. What do you think they were going to do? They just did that for funsies, which was crazy. I can't believe First Amender came up here and dug himself a hole and I was ready to bury him and he just runs off. This is insane.
He's not only going to run off
just
Marte.
upset. He's just mad that a socialist country got taken down, and he's
Marte,
like, that's his thing. He's a fucking
he went to his
socialist.
he went to his own channel to bait you so he could mute you. That's what he did. He ran.
I did go to his channel. He's not live right now, so he completely ran. Seriously ran. I checked myself.
He just ran. Oh wow.
He ran from his own channel. He's not even live right now. I checked. So yeah.
Good.
But oh well.
Marte, I'm right here, Marte. Okay, it didn't run. I'm right here, Marte. What do you want to talk about,
crazy.
Marte? I got my right here, Marte. Okay, all the scholars are on my side.
Tells me what I need to know.
The rat speaking to me as well.
I even took notes for this too. I'm so mad, man. I rarely take notes. God damn it! All the notes down the fucking drain.
Correction, he is live. He is live. I just checked.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shut.
We didn't right now.
Comments. Why do they have this like this?
Lies. You see, they are trying to drag my cool, pure name through the mud because they're mad at me.
I want to be able to hit the mute button on you because I cannot trust Speakeasy to moderate our debate, even though he's been an honest guy.
Yeah, man, how long did it take you to make that? Did you make that during the debate, or did you have this plan?
I think he trusts me as a moderator.
Oh, he is live. Okay.
Yeah, he is live.
He does keep coming back, so I think he trusts me as a moderator. Listen, as much as I obviously I'm not on his side for this debate here, right? But as much as that's the case, I'm never gonna put my bias into a debate, right? Because it ruins the whole thing, right?
Right.
Well, yeah. That was the point.
Yeah, if we want that, we'll go to Sarah's.
Hence me ending that statement.
We already have a channel for that.
The reason why I ended that statement with "he's an honest guy."
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, he should.
Are you telling me there is another channel where I can have stuff on my side? I wonder what
he just wants to mute us. He wants to mute us. That's what it is.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah. He is live right now, but I checked his poll in his chat. He's getting bodied 54 to 40 something by his own people in his chat right now. This is crazy.
Dude,
you're getting bodied by your own chat. Anyways, just
to be completely fair though, the very first time First Amender came and he stayed for the after panel, a bunch of people jumped up and just dogpiled the shit out of him. Like nobody gave him a chance, So I kind of understand him being weary now. Like, yeah, fuck the after panel.
Yeah, but I've actually debated him before, not officially, not moderated, but I've debated him before on the transgender thing. And it's funny, if you go to his video,
I was so curious. Where can I find that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on my channel and his channel. This was back in April of last year, I think, like April or May.
Wow.
But yeah, but it's funny because if you go to his channel and you read the comment sections on his channel, everyone agreed with me on his channel.
That's what's happening right now too, Vic. So history's repeating itself.
Well, he's even said one time that he's got a lot of hate watchers. Like he said that the one time too. That
hate watchers is crazy.
I think he's got nothing but hate watchers though.
A lot of people get hate watchers, but yeah, it does happen.
I think he's got nothing but hate watchers though. Is the thing. I don't know.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I'm right in the middle of work, but I had to come on, and I was hoping fucking First Amender was gonna stick around, but
yeah, me and you and everybody else, buddy.
Holy
I'm right
shit,
here,
dude.
you bitches.
Like,
I'm right here. Okay, I'm right here, you bitches.
He kept going off of justification, and what I like to think of the countries as like your household, right? Now you're telling me that somebody is peddling drugs into my household, infecting my family members. Is that not justification to go launch a nuke over at that drug dealer's house?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
But one of the ways I would have done it. I will say, good on you, Kewl, for the debate. There were some points that you did miss that you could have nailed. And
I
that's
know.
just
I know.
That's constructive. That's not to mean anything bad or anything.
No,
how many formal debates have you done, Kulvik? Like structured like this?
So formal, this is my second one. And the first one it was me and Wi-Fi Gospel, so it wasn't even like this is my first solo moderated debate.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you did pretty good, Cool.
Yeah, good
Well,
job.
thank you very much. Oh yeah, thank you.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Overall, yeah, that was just a constructive.
There was a couple points that I wish you really pushed on, like the whole Maduro usurping his power and not winning the election. That was a really good point. And when the first amender said that, I would have looked at him as a legitimate leader. Bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Manuel is on the left, so he is legitimate. You don't understand. You don't get it, but he was legitimate.
So that was actually one of the agreed with that argument because he knew there was nothing else that could have been said about it.
Well, this is what I would have said. I would have said that when you have somebody that's literally above the law, even as a president who's offing his enemies, I wouldn't say that's a legitimate leader. So he basically takes out that immunity. So when we think about this, with the narco trade coming in with the Suns gang that came in, which he was sponsoring, when we talk about this, that also takes the immunity out of this. And then he's also funneling drugs to the country. The second point that I want to make is that when Nicolas Maduro was arrested, he also forfeited everything that he brought in. And I want to make one last point that War Dog looks like DJ from Street Fighter.
He totally does.
Yeah,
that's great.
And another argument I'd like to make is he kept bringing up international law. My argument to that is international law is fake and gay.
That's the whole difference there too. Yeah, like who tells your culture how to live? International laws.
Hey, Manar wants up. What? We have a Manar happiness.
Yeah, we got two people in the back waiting, but we're at full panel at the moment because it only allows 10 on at a time. So, Chad, if you want to kick a panelist, though, it's $50. You kick a panelist, but you can't kick Cool Vic. He's off limits.
Or me.
I'll hop off in a minute. I'm at work anyway. I gotta hop off in a minute anyway. There's just a couple things I just wanted to bring up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But the whole international law, he's bringing up international law. There's been plenty of times. What the hell is international law ever going to do, and what have they ever done? Nothing. They can't do anything to America. Like, he's sitting there saying that he would justify somebody coming in and taking Trump or whatever.
Hey,
DJ, you were saying something?
Your mic doesn't quite work there, and then let him finish, please.
I also won't stay very long either, so you'll be able to bring up the other two people. I have a couple things to say, and then I'll jump.
Is it past 7:30, Grandma?
It's 7:34, but no, my bedtime is around 10. But I don't like it because there's so many interesting people. I got like 4 things to say really fast. I love that intro, that movie intro you do.
Thank you.
It's just, I love that. That is perfect for me to see and hear. So I want to tell you guys, you probably already know this, but in the 90s, people used to walk up to Trump before he was president, when he was just the richest guy on earth, and they'd walk up and they'd touch him for luck. And what the kid laughed at me about, but these are all true stories, long before he was ever the president, if he saw people in trouble, like if he was driving along in his limousine being driven, or and saw a broken down vehicle, or if he heard about people that were having financial problems, he would pay off their cars, he would pay off people's homes, and he would never just other people would tell other people that he did it, but he would never say, I did this and I did that. And that's what I meant by that. And so the young man clearly doesn't know that. And
he not only did that, but he gave
he doesn't care either.
Or opportunities, and like that's the things people don't realize is like that dude did a lot of other stuff than what they see in the media because the media is skewed.
No, he was very giving. And this is long before he was president. I wanted him to be president in the 90s. And he also went during the first Gulf War under first Bush's father. That was the first Gulf War. And he was in the news. He was a young man then saying, we need to take the oil as payment for the equipment that we're using and to pay for everything that we're doing. He said, we need to take their oil, and then it wasn't long after that I think they lit off their oil. I think it was that war that they lit all their oil wells off. Did you guys know they did that? So all these oil wells were burning, like hundreds of them in wherever they were, Iran. And it took the Americans had to go over there, American oil drillers, and put them out because you have to blow them up to put them out. There's a special way you have to do it. Our guys went over there and did that, or they would still be burning. But Trump back then wanted to take compensation for the country that you've conquered, which is fair to me. I think that's perfectly fine. And then one last other little tidbit that's weird. I don't know all these groups and stuff, and I popped into, and this is completely off the point, and it doesn't matter. I just wanted you guys to know. I popped into the Gauntlet. It popped on my thing, and each time I see to the tomato lady, I get off of there because I don't want to give her a count.
Sorry, Bandit. You look like you're getting ready for your picture in jail.
Yeah, you look like you're taking
his license
brother right there.
All right.
Is this guy going to destroy another treaty?
What cartel did you come from to get here?
Are you going to break another treaty? Is that what's going on here?
No,
maybe I blend in.
So I didn't realize I was going to look like Hobo Wolverine.
Yeah.
No, you look like Hobo Super Mario right now.
No, you guys
It looks like Mario crossing the border.
Love you. God bless Space Grandma.
And he just got caught.
You're wearing your orange jumpsuit right now. You're already in, bro.
I know, that was a bad choice.
No, you're ready to have your head chopped off. They always put them in their orange jumpsuits for that. But no, the little, I was going to tell you guys, the little Arab guy, Mama Mumi or Manimo, that was debating on here, that Mima.
Mustard?
Or whatever his name is. The little Arab guy that was.
Yeah, Mustard.
Okay.
Momar?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Manard.
He's on. He comes over here from the Gauntlet. Because when the Gauntlet pops up on my thing and I finally figured out how to not make it do that, every time that it popped up, he's right in there.
Yeah, well, I think he just goes to a bunch of different open panels.
He goes all over the place.
Yeah, he calls in a lot of places. Yeah,
he's trying to spread the doctrine of cousin fucking.
Yeah, no, he's free to go wherever he wants in the free world. But I was surprised that he was in there, quite in there.
Someone was talking about my mom.
I always tell Mustard that he needs to make sure to put ketchup on my hot dog.
Avarice. He's going to get on this panel and call everybody dogs, but joke's on him. There's 2 dogs already on the panel. So
yeah, now there's 2 of them you can make fun of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Also, boys, and make
a rat.
Other people. And I'm going to sit and watch.
Dude, I thought I got a big nose, but War Dog puts me to shame. Man, you could sniff roses from a mile away with those bitches.
You look like you got a puppy on your face right now. That's crazy,
that's
bro.
a sniffer.
Hey, that's a family heirloom, bro.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is,
bro. That's crazy. Dude, you got me beat.
If I ever need to, if I ever need someone to locate something via scent, I'm gonna hit you up. All right.
You don't even need an oxygen tank. You got two on the side of your cheeks.
Trent said, "Y'all be nice to my boy Minar when he comes up. The hat, my little bro now, or else your head, my boot standing."
Yeah, let's do it, Trench. Me and you, baby. You fucking dwarf.
Anyway,
but, hey, just real.
I'm gonna go off. So you guys, we'll see you tomorrow or the next day.
All right.
But I'll stay. I'm staying. I'm just gonna be watching. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Night, gentlemen.
All right. Enjoy that. Enjoy your melatonin.
Premonition looks like the lady in Misery that broke the ankles. That's crazy, bro.
I do not. I don't.
I thought you were gonna leave and I hear that.
What? Goodbye, Grandma. Go ahead and destroy it.
Deserves a kick, man.
Just real
Oh,
quick.
look at it's Marte's trainer. Look at that.
Minar, I'm gonna body you in 2 weeks from now. You realize that, right?
You want to get a good body? I got you.
You're gonna get bodied in 2 weeks. Yeah. Good luck, Minar, in this debate. 2v1, by the way.
This is amazing. Premonition. She said I'm a famous guy. She's seen me on TV. This is amazing. I'm taking this as such a big compliment.
Delusion.
I am way more famous than you.
I
have a tiara.
I'm so
What do you
famous.
have?
Everybody knows about me. I'm so happy. Tomorrow's my birthday too. I'm gonna be 30.
Oh, happy birthday, Mustard.
What a great way to start the year. I'm so happy.
No, hey, no. Everybody deserves a good happy birthday. All right, happy birthday, Mustard. You deserve it. Happy birthday.
He's a liberal, so he's very soft. So this is why he's like nice to me right now.
No, I'm just showing my benevolence.
The liberals are softies, so they're.
Look at I'm just showing my benevolence is all.
You know
all
what?
to say happy birthday.
I agree. You're better than us.
There you go. Best wishes to you.
You're not an extremist. I agree.
You
All right,
forget.
1 sec.
I'm avaricious.
Just so we don't get too far away, I think Bandit was going to say something about the.
He was going to teach us about crossing the border.
Oh, you changed your shirt. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Wait, just real quick to answer the First Amender's question about why did they grab his wife?
Wait,
Well, it's not been reported widely in the media, but she's well known as a torturer in Venezuela, so that's why they grabbed her.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
They were Bonnie and Clyde in that shit.
Nice,
Yeah.
Kewl, nice performance today. Wow, must have been a lot of work for you to get prepared for something. It's such a big debate.
Hey,
Minar, how are you my trainer if you look anorexic? You should eat more pork. I got BLTs for you in the back, bro.
Hey, question.
I
Also,
missed one of my cycles, guys. I missed one of my
Yeah,
injections.
cycle off of some bacon, bro.
No,
Get it, bro.
this is just rice and chicken right now. I missed one of those cycles.
bananas and rice. Is that what it is?
Yeah, get the pink chicken, bro. The oink pink chicken. Get that, bro.
Hey.
It's delicious.
Hey, Minar, just so you know, those vegetables won't get rid of the curry smell.
Yeah, or the sandal smell.
Definitely, I like that.
It's just thought you ought to know.
It's funny because you look more Indian than me.
The only thing you're transitioning off of is the
Alaska.
He's got the
transition
forehead. I mean,
hormones.
look at him.
You mean the Alaskan
Honestly,
forehead?
If you're a little bit darker, you look like a true Indian, one of those Brahmas.
You know, I mean, give me a feather. Let's see what happens.
Anyways, Kewl, man, wow, man, so amazing to see you getting paid $7,000 to post and to benefit and to support your baby Trump. I'm really happy to see that. So I just wanted to come here maybe and congratulate you on the money that you made with your post.
You saying he's getting shekels on the side?
100%. There's no one
Somebody said
right now who
shekels.
thinks like you unless they're getting paid for their opinions. If I'm not getting paid for my opinion and I think like that, I would just change my religion, I guess.
Yeah, coming from Slumdog Ramen like this is rich from you, bro. Like this is crazy.
Wait, did I just
minority talking to me, bro.
wait? Did I just hear? Are you willing to change your religion? Is it that easy?
Latin X.
Did somebody mention shekels?
Fucking dog.
Where are my shekels?
Kewl Vic, for real. Kewl Vic, how much money did they pay you to have these opinions to still support Trump?
I don't get
After all
7K
of
at
this.
all.
Not
After all of
7K,
what?
but a little bit less. Okay, no problem. I mean, I get it because your audience is much smaller than the 7K. Like
Menard, let me
Piers
ask you,
Morgan.
Menard, are you so just to make sure I'm understanding correct? You're against like how Trump has handled the Venezuela situation?
Absolutely unbelievable. Are we Christians? I forgot. Are we Christians? Why would we go and invade a
Well, you're
Christian
not.
country and kidnap their
doesn't
president?
matter
I thought you guys are
if you're not.
Christians.
We're secularists.
What
We're secular, baby. We can do whatever we want because we prefer it.
How is a Christian supporting kidnapping
Because I
Christian
prefer it.
president?
One second, before we all get all hyped up. So we have somebody on the opposite side, but remember, you're all going to be on one side, and he's going to be on the other.
Get
so
mugged.
Hey, I was quiet the whole time. Can I get a little adverse pat on the head? Can I get an adverse pat on the head?
Well, yes.
No, the panel started finally.
Good, Adams. Good.
Let's let Menard have a little engagement with Cool Vic here.
So this is what's happening, man. An American president who touts himself to be a conservative and to be a supportive of all these religious conservative values, and he touts himself to be a Christian. He just sold a $2,750,000 Jesus painting and all of this, so you can go and invade a Christian country and claim that this is only to benefit us and our national security, and you guys believe that this is okay as a Christian.
Wait, really quickly. Hold on. Really quickly, did we claim the country? Is it ours?
No, you just kidnapped the
Okay,
president.
hold on.
And are influencing
hold on. So
all its
before,
decisions right now.
so before you structure your sentences, can you just structure them properly and not make fallacious claims?
So you don't have full control of the country right now. If the other president does not is not subordinate, you are not going to do the same exact outcome to them.
What?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh,
even
you
if
don't think so?
even if she
Not that I'm
supports
aware
it,
of.
does that
You don't
mean that
believe
we
that? At
have
least she believes
full
now. There's
control?
a little bit of pressure
Hold
on
on,
her
again,
to actually
you said-
agree.
You said, I said, not that I'm aware of.
So you don't believe that America now has influence over the government of Venezuela? That's extremely heavy.
Well, hold on. We have influence over a lot of countries. We had influence over Venezuela then too, even when we captured him. We still had hold on. We still had influence over
Why is
Venezuela.
that a good
Hold
thing?
on. Let me land my plane. I was very patient with you, so just give me a second. We similar to we have influence over Britain, France. We even have influence over Israel. Guess what? We even have influence over Pakistan.
Why is that good?
So I'm just saying we have influence everywhere. So
Why is that? Why is that
so
good?
it's kind of a bad claim to say we have influence, right? So if we can just say that we have not taken over Venezuela, that's all I'm getting at before we continue down the rhetoric. We have no control over Venezuela as it stands right now.
If you believe in nations and religions and ideologies, and you believe in that they deserve to prosper, then this idea of a singular nation having a full ability to interfere in every single ideology and other nation should be disgusting to you and should be against everything that you believe is fair and right. Why is it justified to have this secular or Christian nation called America go and destroy other and steal and kidnap other Christian and Muslim and secular nations as countries? Why is this justified? Justify it.
Because we prefer it.
As a Christian.
Because we prefer it.
Does someone want to take
That's
it? Or do
it.
you want me to
That's his justification. You know,
does someone want to take it?
That is the justification.
You know, I'll justify it right now as a Muslim. The reason we need to conquer America and get rid of this failed government is to better the life of the American people. We'll end the facade of the overtaxation of the American people. 50% of taxes will completely eradicate these abortion
we
laws
don't prefer it.
and make exemptions for medical providers to abort and murder children.
Yeah, but we
will
don't
bring
prefer
law
it.
and order back into your country and make sure nobody comes and scares you. And you will be able to go into your buses and go to work.
We still don't prefer it.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
See how I justify it? Look how you justify it.
Is that also so you can enact the Jesuit tax?
We just don't prefer it. Okay?
Yeah,
we don't prefer
it,
you.
guys.
Now we just don't prefer it. Good.
There's no objective beneficial outcome to you. It's just
we'll have our time to fight on that manure. We'll have our time to fight that. Don't worry. You'll get your chance. You get your
I can't
chance.
believe I'm mugging everyone. This is crazy.
You'll get your chance to be destroyed.
The delusion is crazy, bro.
It's
You
just a
think
great
you're
argument.
mugging, but you're sparking.
Yeah, so we've got your question. Now let's hear if someone's got some answers for you.
Does anybody else want to take it, or do you want me to go?
What was the question?
What was the question?
I was
okay.
I was flipping. Yeah, what was the question? Clarify the question.
Hold on. Let's see if I can steel man this really quick.
He's basically asking how do we justify it as Christians? Basically, it's the moral justification he's asking for.
To go and conquer other Christian nations. Yeah.
Well, there's a failure in his question, because he's doing the whole well, as a Christian country, how can you justify invading another Christian country? And it's like, well, invasion doesn't have anything to do with religion. I mean, hell, how many countries over the course of history invaded other countries that shared the same religion? You're trying to make a moral claim off of something that it's not even relevant to the question, or sorry,
no. Here, take a look at this. Let's say you have someone who identifies as a Christian, but they're doing horrific things. Does that morally keep you from acting and enacting justice on that person just because they claim to be a Christian?
Yeah, that's a good justification. What immoral, horrible thing that you see that person is doing?
He was doing drug trafficking. He was, yeah. So killing Americans with drug trafficking. So if someone is engaged in this and people are actually dying, would you not have a moral obligation to actually take action
at all? No,
that's not good according to you.
Let me explain why. Because the justification is you're gonna destroy that nation in order to only better.
That's an assumption.
No, to save lives off of drug trafficking and billions of money from death. That's saving a ton of lives. That's preventative.
But the evidence of America is when it comes to nations, they don't eradicate poppy seed fields and eradicate drug fields. No, they expand.
No, but can we?
The evidence that we have of America.
Eradicate poppy seed fields? Yes, we are. Thank you.
So if
you only have assumptions to justify your case.
If there was evidence that you were eradicating, I would agree. But what's the evidence is you're going to use these fields for your
There was evidence that we did eradicate poppy fields in Afghanistan.
No, there isn't. They were protected by American soldiers.
I understand we protected them and we razed the ones we had to raise. Right? Did we not? So yes, we protected certain fields. I know which fields we were because I have a buddy named Grunt in the Foundry who was a person.
Producer.
Hold on, I got a buddy named Grunt in the Foundry whose job was to protect and destroy. Hold on, and destroy those fields. Hold on, and destroy those fields. So. No, you say that we no, but still, all I'm asking you is when you, if you can go back, because all I'm asking you is to not be monolithic and not be fallacious in your arguments. We did destroy some. That we did protect some, just like going back to we do not control Venezuela.
Field.
Exactly, but I'm saying that
over some. That's all you need to do is see that you took over poppy field seeds as an American Christian that's claiming that they want to eradicate, drugs. Coming in.
Hold on. So,
the biggest drugs that's destroying.
Okay, but do we not also use some of that poppy for medicinal purposes on our actual medicinal legal end, Menard?
Yeah, but it seems to be.
Yeah. So we hold on. So we do need some
to your nation. It's destroying your nation.
So we do need some of that for.
It's called the opioid epidemic.
Again, so that's why it needs to be controlled. Some need to be burned, and some need to be protected.
Yeah, and so the evidence that we're showcasing here is that a nation, when America comes in...
No, you said that we protected all of them for drug use to go... You're acting like it's an illegal...
Drugs, not to eliminate drugs.
I got it. But some of those resources are used to produce prescription drugs.
This argument that we're going to stop the cocaine is a failed argument. Let me finish the point, though. Like, calm down, Avers. So most
but your point is fallacious.
Save and stop this cocaine is not...
But it's not cocaine.
Evidence that we eradicated cocaine. Maybe he could have stood on something.
We do eradicate cocaine all the time.
Yourself, what are you talking about?
We eradicate cocaine every day in America. We also use cocaine in other prescriptions for our medicinals. Yeah, so there are some fields that need to be protected and controlled, and there are some fields that don't. War Dog, you're muted.
But that's not the Schedule 1 version of cocaine.
Now we can hear you, DJ. There you go. We know your voice sounds like. I've always a big fan of yours too. I played up, back, down, B when I played you in the character.
Do you know that the CIA has been involved in Contra cocaine trafficking for many years, starting from 1980s Nicaraguan Civil War? there is evidences of CIA's involvement.
Again, you needed traffic to find those bad people. Like that's how we find bad people. We do sting operations all the time. You can't say that because we did. Look at your claim, but your claim is that we own Venezuela. Your claim is that we safeguard all the illegal drugs. This is not the case. Have you heard the term 420?
Are they rage baiting?
Hold on.
What is happening?
No. Have you heard the term 420? The original
I'm
term
not going
was
to take the rage bait.
the original term.
I'm reformed.
The original term was because it was considered the time. The original term was because it was the time that they would move drugs in from a holding cell and get rid of it. That was the whole ideal behind it. To say that we don't get rid of drugs is fallacious.
Yeah, Avarice is totally correct on this, and I can demonstrate why. We sent jackals to other nations. I don't know if you're familiar with the terminology of doing this. We've actually helped throw coups, but this is one of the most peaceful extractions we've ever done. Yeah, minimal casualties. I celebrate that. So when you have this, you have soldiers on the ground that use hypersonic weapons at the time. No deaths, by the way. We did this with 20 soldiers to apprehend Nicolas Maduro. Least deaths and casualties to do this. Matter of fact, this was equivalent to a peaceful transition. There's been more harmful transitions in the lieu of saving lives from drug trafficking and deaths from drugs. We've actually saved our nation from more fallacious drugs on the streets than anything else.
Yeah, the evidence actually showcases that more than drugs, actually, we were much more interested in the reservoir of oil and the national resources of the nation of Venezuela.
Prove that. Can you demonstrate that?
Yeah, I have multiple interviews with top-level officials.
I'd love to hear that. You haven't had a demonstration all night,
talking about the oil fields and the biggest reservoirs in Venezuela and how they have more oil than Saudi Arabia and how much of an interest that is to America.
Okay, where's the demonstration at, Minar? Trust me, bro, is not a source.
Here's another answer to you, Minar. Here's an answer.
So your argument of the drugs is a failed argument. There's more interest of the government and
here's another angle, Minar.
National interest to have the oil reserves. More
because you national interest. That's why.
I got
Here's
one question from Minar really quickly, just on the
just a question based on some things I was listening to. So, because you said it was like equivalent to a peaceful. What did you say? A peaceful exchange.
So I would say it's more of the equivalent to this because we've had more of the takeovers that happen in
I was
countries.
gonna say, from what I've heard, anyways, I think Venezuelan officials are saying there's 100 soldiers that died during the operation.
I would consider that minimal.
Venezuelan soldiers, obviously, not American.
I'd say that's really minimal.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Say, is 100 people dying? Would that be still considered peaceful? But you meant
that's why I said more. The word "more" is doing the heavy lifting. I would say more peaceful as in comparison to anything else we've done. That's what I'm saying.
Got you. Yeah. All right.
It's easy. I'm gonna hop off.
All right, thanks for coming out.
Run away, little rat. Run away.
Good we have our date. We have our date, Marte. You're gonna get fucked up, okay?
When is our date again?
Hold on. No means no.
You're gonna get it. Okay? No means no.
Wow. Yeah. I'm clenching my cheeks right now. Can you? Yeah. This is harassment right now. You're essaying me on camera right now, bro. This is crazy.
I just want to say thanks so much for having me on. Easy. Thank you to the panel. Good job. Cool as always. And yeah, I'll be seeing everybody around. Hope you enjoy. Rat Boy Runner. Have a good one.
All right, later, Emmett.
Minar, here's another answer to your question from a Christian viewpoint.
I think Rick said now.
It is anti.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off too.
All right, tell everyone where to find you.
All right. Well, you can find me on my channel, Kewl Vic, Kewl V1C, on YouTube. And if you search that up on X and other social media, you can find me with that name too.
Good to see you, Vic.
Thanks for coming.
I can't believe you ran. I can't believe you ran away. That's
good to see you, Vic.
Not a single answer did I get to any of my questions. Remember
that.
Manar,
you can call in my stream anytime, Manar.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, but First Amender running isn't running to you.
Next time, actually, you need to
who's the original runner, right?
Hey,
all right.
Gentlemen,
So
I'm also going to
take
off. I only came here because I wanted to get at First Amender.
From a Christian standpoint.
Well, thanks for coming out.
I'm just going to tell you right now, man.
Appreciate you coming out.
From a Christian standpoint, socialism and communism is antithetical to Christianity.
Love the channel.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. God bless.
Did you hear me, Minar?
Sorry, what?
From a Christian paradigm, communism and socialism is
Yeah,
antithetical
look,
to
Trump
Christianity.
says
So that's
Venezuela
another
will be
reason.
turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil to the
didn't.
U.S. This is an
I just
operation
gave
to
you another
steal the
reason.
resources of the country.
I just
a
gave you another
Christian
reason. You want to
nation.
address that reason?
Can Christians justify why it's good to steal?
Okay, hey, hold on. I just want to answer one question. Again, you keep saying fallacious things, and I just want to go back to it. So again, we haven't taken Venezuela. Number 2 fallacious thing is the whole you just keep saying fallacious things.
What's the first fallacious thing?
That we captured Venezuela like it's ours. We haven't.
Yeah, you just kidnapped its president and committed sonic warfare on its populace.
Again, we didn't capture it. We've not claimed it as our own.
It's fired up the space laser, dude. For real.
We bombed them with little blue hedgehogs.
Just so you know, and then last thing here is the stealing and the stealing of product. Like,
speak easy. You know, the White House made a statement about safeguarding Venezuela's resources. Can you look at it? It's in January 9. Look at the White House statement of safeguarding Venezuelan oil revenue for the good of the American and Venezuelan people in the whitehouse.gov. January 9.
that doesn't
good. They're a bunch of commie socialists.
An executive order in January 9, I believe, around the same time that they kidnapped the president of Maduro.
Yeah, we're going to do that. What's wrong with that?
So I thought your argument was for cocaine.
I got
They just gave you another argument. You weren't listening.
I got a
I only
different
see
reason.
safeguarding Venezuelan oil executive order.
Yeah, because we're not going to leave it for rogue agencies and rogue persons to come and take something that's a resource. That's crazy.
Yeah, and before
I got
hold
a
on,
different
can we fix one thing? I just want to fix it before we get back into it. Can you make sure you stop calling us a Christian nation, please?
Oh, so what are we? Because I thought Andrew Wilson argues that this is a Christian nation.
Well,
it was a Christian nation, and it will be a Christian nation.
I don't even see Andrew here. What are you talking about?
Okay,
I'm just saying that's his boy. So if he's going to argue that,
what do you mean?
With his boy.
That's his. Again, Andrew and I are two different people. We disagree on a lot of things.
Though. You disagree with him?
Sure, I can disagree with him. And
all right, so America's not a Christian nation. So worse, a secular nation robbing the resources of a Christian nation. Much worse.
Hold on. Can you just?
I got a different thing.
Hold on. Just so we're clear, can you just call us an American nation? I'd be happier with that.
Can I call you secular nation?
I mean, just an American nation.
I mean, if you're not guided by God, then it's just a constitution, and that's a secular document.
By an American constitution, correct?
That's definitionally a secular document, though.
But again, by an American constitution.
Sure, American people. Yeah.
Okay, so we can agree that we're an American nation.
We know who you are.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure we're consistent through this conversation. Okay, you can continue now.
Don't get bogged down in the weeds.
By the way, that strengthened my argument. So it's a secular nation with a random constitution that is basically according to the subjective morality people, its own preferences.
But you got to remember the preamble, bro.
And these set of moral compasses that they say are their preferences is what guides this nation, which is an American nation, to come and go and attack Christian and other religious nation and take and steal their resources in the name of what they believe is justification, which they claim is the war on drugs, but with a lot of other ample evidence, it seems to be
now. Can I ask you a new question now based on that? Okay, can I ask you a new question based on that? So, what is the difference between, let's say, my American nation taking resources and your Islamic nation taking resources?
Because we would not be taking resources like that.
Well, hold on. Again, like what?
Because we would leave the resources
like
to
that.
The nation.
What's that?
We would leave the resources to the nation.
No. Okay. Again, so
we would clear it ideologically, but we don't clear it resourcefully.
Okay. Again,
what's the ideology when they did it?
Can you just tell me?
We don't liberate nations ideologically. We don't liberate them and take and fuck their women and take their resources and burn their houses down. The civilians still exist. It's just the army that was against.
Hold on. Again, hold on. You said that you don't fuck our women, but did you not just on the last debate we had say that you wanted to fuck my mother and fuck my sister?
Maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah. So I mean,
Cannot help myself. Cannot help myself.
Yeah, because your people can't help yourselves. That's fine. So why is your ideology of your Islamic nation better than my American
They were dressed
one?
up and they were inviting me, and you know how I look. I know those looks.
Minar, can you answer Avarice's question?
I've gotten these looks before. Those
You're not answering his question. Can you answer his question?
I'm just letting you know I have experience.
Okay. But
All right.
Can you get back to the question at hand?
Sure. Yeah. Your mother. What was wrong?
He just ignores the points that he can't answer.
Crazy, bro.
I thought talking about his mother.
Birdmaster.
When you guys are done with him, I have a different reason why I'm in the opposition.
Hey guys, I'm out of here. I just want to say bye to Timu Hassan Piker.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Out here too.
Where are you going?
Later, Marte.
I'm here for you.
Later,
I'm here to train you. I'm here to educate you. And
I'm not going
help
to
you
train to
learn.
be anorexic. Hassan
I
Piker.
saw that you
We're not
had
doing
issues
that, bro.
in your rhetorical prowess, and I'm here to straighten you up. Come, let's do push-ups. How many push-ups can you do?
Inbred cousin training galore.
How many
I
push-ups can you
see
do?
that.
Let's do a push-up contest. How many push-ups can you do?
He wants to show you his transition
Bro,
stack, hormone treatment.
I'm training him physically and intellectually.
Easy. I'll talk to you later, man. Peace out. God bless.
Marte, I accept the debate.
Yeah, I got a show to get to too, so I'm gonna head out soon.
Yeah, run.
Yeah, accept the debate, Timu Hassan Piker. I'll see you later.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment. He says Timu because I'm short, not 6'5". That's why Timu. Not Timu like I'm bad or anything. Or I look.
Hey, Manar, you just mentioned a moment ago that y'all would be greeted as liberators. I mean, have you not cracked open a history book to either the 1980s when we thought we would liberate the Middle East, or hell, when Europe thought that they would be seen as liberators?
Have I ever?
Ooh, now you're playing into my point.
Yeah. Hey, Trench. Trench. Let's get into Discord. I want to take your point later. I got to get back to the normal America. If you want to find me, you can find me there. But I gotta
So what
head
did you
out.
come for? Just to tell me that
Later, Avarice.
I'll holler at Avarice.
Coming up.
I came for a piece of first Amender, but he decided to run.
He ran like somebody else I know. Well,
So,
he has the same first letter, by the way. It starts with an A, his name.
Again, I didn't run. I sat here and had a meaningful conversation with you. You're the one that keeps monolithing, saying that we took Venezuela,
Very meaningful
we're
conversation.
Christian nation.
Filibustering.
Shut
Reading
up,
whatever document you wrote down while I was
my
talking.
notes, my Avarice notes. Yeah,
that's a great debate, guys.
Avarice.
Let the dude talk.
TM. Avarice notes.
More rebuttal. I did not think I would ever see your face. I thought I embarrassed you enough.
Well, let me get my outro, right?
You won't even answer my questions.
Instead of interrupting, all right? So, all
You dodged
right,
them.
guys, good job out there. I'll see you guys later. Get those donos in.
Hey, I'll take the credit for disbanding this fake Avenger group. They all ran away.
I'm going to head out myself. I'm going to head over to Normal America. Yeah, Speakeasy had a great show tonight.
Earlier, Kewl was arguing how amazing of an argument
Thanks
he was
for coming
making,
up.
With Bandit, how we should go and conquer. The moment I showed up, all of a sudden he became quiet. He's like, okay, I'll be an observer. This is not my debate. What happened, Kewl? I'm here for you. I came for you. This was your debate. I came to ask you a question and test your logic. Wow, not a single answer to any of my questions. But hey, guys, at least I have an invite to talk to him some other time in the future.
Yeah. Anyway, actually, I gotta head out too easy since Menar's not answering any questions that he can't answer. So you guys take care. Later.
Run.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
It's really because I said I was the apps, so they were like, "No, I don't want to mess with the trench team on this."
Actually, I'll give it to the. I rather not verse Trench than Menard. So, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm scary. I'm fucking scary, bro. I was on a
no,
TikTok
bro.
debate
I was saying I would rather not verse Trench than Menard. Did you not hear me?
So that means you would rather debate me instead of Trench. Just
yeah.
You said it in the worst way possible.
He's not very good at speaking.
Yeah, I can tell.
But I love
you
him
high
still.
on something?
Me?
Nope.
Probably.
No, the dog on some kind of biscuit or something. Maybe somebody gave him an extra treat today.
Oh, I have all the extra treats I want, bro.
Yeah, I can tell
Prince
you're on
the dog.
something today. Some kind of you took an extra biscuit from the jar. Anyways, guys, I'm here to roast and toast. I've toasted and roasted. Speakeasy's on my side. He can see the inconsistencies in these arguments. How the guy had to concede. The guy had to concede. America's not a Christian nation, and that actually strengthened my argument. Why is a random secular nation believe that it's justified to go and interfere in a Christian nation's affairs? Because it deems it to be of a national interest to it. Well, what the fuck? Every nation that deems to be a Venezuela of a national interest to it has the ability to interfere in their resources and their diplomatic affairs. Is that the argument right now?
Siddiqui, my friend here, listen, I think that there's kind of a middle ground.
Okay, Rafiq.
So it's like, it's not that we didn't have justification or authority or law or the physical ability to do this with our military. I think that it was like a bad strategic, political, and geopolitical move that will have ramifications later on down the road. And I think it was done, Trump was getting cooked for a while. It's like, I've been 100 about 98% of everything that he's done so far, but that 2%, ooh, that 2%.
Remember how it started? It started with Epstein files, and then it just kept going.
That 2% is pretty big, and it's like when these things happen. I think we talked about it on Easy's channel, and I was like, later on down the road, this little ripple is going to be a wave, and
Good point.
It's kind of the same thing here in the face of bad tabloids and bad headlines. In the short term, to the administration and to the base, which this is red meat for, this is a W. This is a win, actually, at that level. But do you want the short-term win at the expense of future blowback, or are we looking to build a solid, undefeatable future? Like, in the grand scheme of things, from the geopolitical, political, and tactical standpoint, Maduro is a communist nation. Maduro is replaceable. There's 8 more of him ready to go off of some commie assembly line. Who's static and hard? Is that me?
Yeah, but this is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, is the argument that we're helping America because...
I think it might have been Kyle, yeah.
Hold on one second.
It sounds like he's in a
I couldn't hear
rig or
myself
something.
speak over the buzzsaw in my ear. But I think it's more to that lack of foresightedness and in the 4D chess game of tomorrow. Our foresight has to be 2020. These people, they're like women. When you're with, here's a primordial truth. A woman is making a list of every shitty fucking thing you've ever done.
You needed to give me this debate. It was not fair that you did not give me the debate, Speakeasy. I'm not happy with this because look how fucking they ran away from me. That's crazy. They sat here talking for 3 hours. Look how fast I dismanded them. Not a single one could answer my argument. How are you claiming that this is to benefit America and how that justifies this? This is disgusting. So you think destroying other nations for the benefit of a nation is justified? This is crazy. How can you actually make that?
And for the record, I don't give a shit.
Let alone legally.
There's no moral qualm.
Let alone international law. How can international law agree with you? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
But there is no international law.
And they ran. When anybody has statistics and facts, nobody. This is what I noticed in this debate scene.
They didn't fucking run, dude. They had real life to deal with.
It's ran from. They're saying I'm more unstable than Trench. I don't know how you guys can see that. That's crazy. The guy literally has a Space Marine in his background.
That's true, though, because I have moments of sanguinity. It's just the butcher's nails that make me crazy. But other than that, we're straight. I can philosophize like a king sage.
Yeah, maybe if you drop a little bit of the ganja, I think you'll be a lot better.
What are you, the morality police?
I'm just saying it's so you can reach your epitome of self, of memory, of development of mind, of spending the time in the accurate way. I want you to reach your epitome. I think it's holding you. It's bottlenecking.
Well, now you're distracting me from us making a point against the debate from.
Sorry. You're right. This is not to benefit anybody. It's only to benefit. I don't know your point.
And I'm the one with the short-term memory loss.
I guess let's talk about let's talk about your point. Go ahead. I thought I already destroyed everybody. Nobody's ever answered my point.
Well, I mean, if you're listening to what I'm saying, though, too, it's not in agreements with your point. It's just that we're on the point of opposition. I think that this was it's going to fumble somewhere later on down the road. There's going to be.
What was Amender's best argument?
There's too many loose ends that can't be tied down, right? Remember, the story broke out that this was a clean surgical operation. We don't even think any people were killed, right? That was I remember seeing that being a speculation by the talking heads.
I don't believe it, but yeah.
No, well,
the IDF.
Exactly. So I think sooner or later, and it could be
to actually
more later than sooner. One of these dogs is going to come home to roost with this thing. Now, granted, like as far as kidnapping, no, that guy is an intelligence wet dream would be the word. You're talking about a mafia boss at the end of the day with international mafia connections. So that asset right there that's cool. That's that short-term win slam dunk that is red meat for the base. But when the Maduro 2.0 rolls off the assembly line and all this keeps going on, but then there's more pushback because these are communists. They are the population here. The population is ideologically against us Americans. They don't have our same worldview, and it's a lot like the Middle East. We're not going to go into South America with Baptist missionaries and get everybody to start building McDonald's and Bank of Americas everywhere. It's just not going to happen. It's a completely different culture with a completely different, what do you call it? A superordinate goal. The national superordinate goal is not in line with ours, which is why when they do come here, yeah, you get a couple of the based right-wingers that
man,
we
when
all
are you
like.
gonna be done so we can respond to you, man? Like, I don't know what to respond to. Like, you filibustered the whole fucking thing.
You're supposed to be on my side.
Yeah, but like, give us a moment of reflection. Like, what are we supposed to answer? Like, when we give it back to them, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna answer to?
Bro, you are making an appeal to simplicity.
Summarize, yes, summarize. What's wrong with that? Be smart, be faster.
Well, I assume. I mean, Dogs is a mongrel, but I assume he can keep.
I don't think he knows what to answer to right now. Dog, do you know what to answer from Trench's point?
Well, I did kind of go on a little bit, not to the exact point.
Yeah, so just get it to the point and land that plane, Trench, so they can we can embarrass them. Come on.
Bottom line is there's going to be, just like striking Iran had political blowback and it tore the fractured MAGA.
You have 15 seconds.
This has kind of done the same thing. We're not supposed to be globally interfering. That's not MAGA. Let's make America great, not the international order great.
Nice, Dog. So he's saying, let's make America great. Let's not make the international order great.
So yeah, about that whole national order, don't we have to protect ourselves and be part of the situation in order to know and have a say in the world order, as you guys would call it?
We have a say in the world order at our leisure because of the United States Marine Corps.
Yeah,
exactly. There's your world order. Thank you very much. Hallelujah. That's all we need. We keep a couple of bases abroad. We might not need so many, but I think arrangements can be made diplomatically in exchange for security agreements
that's the whole,
to minimize the footprint back to something more budget friendly and strategically defendable, and has less of a impact in pissing off the natives.
The whole thing. We need strategic defense as a nation. Every nation needs that.
We have strategic
Every nation
defense.
needs.
Where's the
strategic
threat?
defense.
Let me ask you this: where's the threat?
In what exactly? Which part?
Anywhere, anybody.
Well, though, it
Anybody,
could potentially be the whole world.
Anybody who wants
If
to
we
fuck
didn't
with the
show
war?
our gals,
Who wants
we
to fuck
wouldn't
with the war?
have our world order.
You know why the
Because-
Japanese didn't want to invade mainland America, and why the Germans didn't
because
game theory it out?
Fucked up,
Speak
man.
easy. Can I ask you a question?
The whole point.
What did they
Swords,
say?
If
strong
I leave, do you
hands,
think they'll come back?
and it's more defensive.
What?
What did they
If I
say?
leave, do you think they'll come back?
They said
Also?
behind every
Probably
blade
not.
of
I don't
grass
think they left because of you.
is a pew pew.
I think they ran, but okay. We'll see.
No, they didn't run, bro. They had real life to deal with, which I don't
Bullshit.
have too much
Like,
longer.
say
'cause
someone's
I-
crazy enough.
Bullshit. The
4.5
moment I made
hours
the,
before I gotta give
the moment I presented the
and
White
work
House
tomorrow,
argument,
so
Speakeasy was
fuck you.
making research about it. Everyone ran because it was absolutely against their actual argument of the cocaine.
I mean, everybody knows we sell dope.
Yeah, not only that, it was the actual major reason that
It's not the gotcha you think it is.
Again,
boy.
Manner
It is a
has
big
its
gotcha.
own-
It's a matter of national security when the White House makes an executive order demanding the resources of the Venezuelan.
God,
land.
what intelligence agency on earth isn't selling dope? It's the nature
See,
of the
okay.
game, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna leave you guys to Trench Deacon. I don't know. You get him. You get him, boy. Get him, boy. Speakeasy. Any debate, please, man. Come on. What is happening right now? Imagine if I was on the.
Yeah, we'll
modern
get
day
to
debate.
another one soon.
Imagine if I was on the modern day debate with versus Destiny, instead of that fat
Yeah.
fuck. Imagine
The-
that would have been an amazing birthday present for me.
Wow.
Instead, I got to debate Trench Deacon and some dog.
I'm sorry. What
For
happened?
my
Yeah.
birthday.
I
See
promise
you
I'll
later,
be
bro.
nice from now on.
Speakeasy, thanks so much for allowing me here. Trench, nice to see you. Nice to see you, dog, and everybody.
Hey,
Thanks for coming, man.
Premonition,
man.
appreciate you. I'm still Arab, and we're still gonna dog. We're gonna do what Arabs do. I'm gonna eat my halal meat, and I'm gonna cook my shawarma, and we're gonna cook the hummus, and we're gonna eat the hummus in front of you. And
I
know it
love
pisses
hummus,
you
dude.
off.
That shit is
I know
good.
Premonition is very mad that we make hummus and we eat it in her lands. I know it pisses her off.
You
so-
put a little oil on it.
Yeah, look, I don't assimilate. I don't eat burgers in America. I make my own fucking national food. I'm a piece of shit. I'll never assimilate.
You think
to
you're the
American
first
culture.
one to not assimilate in this country? The Italians been doing it since they got here.
Yeah, but Premonition hates me for that. She hates me for not assimilating. You forgot.
But that's a beautiful thing. But certain people can't have what you would call what do you call it? Racial national enclaves.
Yeah, and finally, and one final point. Hopefully, you will never see me eating the Bible or dating what David Wood likes to do. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Speakeasy, hit me up, please. Anything you have.
Yeah,
Take
for
care, my
sure.
brother.
For sure. Thanks for coming.
He's
Thank
so
you.
much better than me.
Nice to see you, Trench. Nah, you're the best, man. We'll learn it together. Take care, guys.
There you go. The patience of a mustard seed. You'll see. I'm gonna convert. I'm gonna convert that boy.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. Convert them all.
But no, if there's any challengers, we work something out. Maybe we'd like to debate against Zionism. We need to flush out an actual fair and nothing that get easy demonetized by the YouTube. No anti-Semitisms. But as a actual, like, it's a bad thing. Sort of like why I'm against this, because I'm against these intelligence agencies that seem to have more power over American policy than the voting people, than the voting man. And that's the problem. And these intelligence agencies inform presidents to do things. It's ultimately on Trump, though. And that's on him when his legacy, if you will, is tarnished.
Hey, I came here now. I'm sorry, Trench. Give me 1 second. I actually came up here for a quick second. Speakeasy. I sent you I know you're busy. I'm not holding your feet to the fire. I just sent you a message on Discord and Just want to let you know that they're waiting.
All right, I'll check it
Sorts
out.
of reason. Yeah. But hit me up on there. It's good to see y'all. Dogs, Trench Deacon, the Honorable Trench Deacon, and Rowdy. Ooh, makes me rowdy to say it. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Take care. I'm at work, so I can't like stay in chat long, but I do want to let Speakeasy know that hey, I'm interested of Swords of Reason, but the scheduling that gets sticky, and you'll see it.
All right. Yeah, I'll hit you
Anyways,
back up there.
yeah, y'all take it easy and smoke them if you got them. Take care.
Take care, bro.
Oh man.
What do you guys say? Do you guys think it was a good like political move? You start there.
What?
The operation, the capturing of Maduro.
Oh.
He is an intelligence wet dream. Like, there's that.
I think everybody that's come up besides Minar was on the side of yes, it was justified.
Yeah, it was a justified move. Yeah.
I imagine Menard was probably the only one that's been up here against
Okay.
it.
I am not kidding. I got 4.5 hours to sleep before I got to get up and work a construction job tomorrow. My daily life. So I love you guys. God bless. Thank you all for the good conversations. And we'll see you next time.
God bless.
What do you say, dog? Rowdy.
So, this is just tripping on me, man, and I can't figure it out. Every time someone drops out, Mango's dropped out, and then I couldn't hear Speakeasy or Dogs, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Lordy. Maybe I need to turn my volume down.
No, like at all. And so I got my TV on in the background because I'm trying to. Every time someone dropped out, I had to like reload StreamYard.
That's wild,
So
bro.
that everything was fine until RK Mangoes came in and bounced, and then it was like I could hear you still talking totally normal, but then Speakeasy and Dogs both cut out. So I don't know what's going on.
It's the feds.
That's weird.
Yeah, dude. Yes, I'm sure I'm either need an update or just got an update or some shit. But
You usually join from your phone, right?
Who, me?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, Rowdy's not even hearing me right now. He's got me in the.
Because then I switched to my laptop, but that's just too old too, and it's like.
Yeah, I got the reverb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know StreamYard can be shitty for the
not
phone.
through my headset or through my phone, which is connected to my phone.
I shut it down easy. I'm sorry.
What?
I shut it down, man. I'm sorry. My presence just blew out the.
Oh no,
panel.
you're good. You're good. It's all right. We weren't gonna do too late of an after panel tonight, anyways.
And if you want to throw in on me and rip, I'm just ripping, bro. But that's where I stand. Like as far as the action.
No, we weren't gonna do too late of an after panel tonight. I'm still working on getting my sleeping schedule back on track here. So, and I got a few more videos to edit because I got a lot of videos to put out too. So, work on that stuff. So it's no worries.
Sick. Well then, shit, man. Yeah, I hate to ruin the vibe as well, but I'm gonna try and figure out this StreamYard shit, and I'll make sure we're good to go for VK and the rest of the weeks.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming up.
Bet. Well, I'm gonna go to bed too. I'm not gonna just sit here and rant at people.
Yeah.
You have a good night, bro.
You as well. You as well.
One love.
Don't count the days, make the days count.
Yes, sir.
How do I?
All right, chat. Well, listen up. I think it was a great debate. Obviously, I save my my bias and my opinion for my own streams and debates, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to let it out during the debates or nothing like that, because it's not a good way for the debaters to get their points across, But it happens too often with moderation. Too many times the moderator tries to make it, like about herself. I had to. No, but it's true. A lot of moderators do that. A lot of moderators do make it about themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're moderating a debate, right? The whole like idea is it's not about you as a moderator whatsoever, right? Like the least that you can like talk and put in your input, the best. Right? Like I only bridged a gap earlier because it seemed like maybe they were talking past each other, so I tried to bridge a gap. I'll usually do stuff like that, or if like it gets off track way too far, I'll bring them back into something they talked about. But other than that, like the moderator should usually just sit there and shut up. You know what I mean? And then when we go into the after panels, I try to actually save my bias during the after panels as well, those, especially when the debaters are still here. Though sometimes it does get a little bit wild. But yeah, my opinion obviously is I do think it was justified. But I do see some of the arguments for the other side, right? Obviously, you don't want it so like anybody should be able to just come in and take the president of any country for any reason, obviously. But I think a lot of what happens, is like we get bogged down into legal justification and moral justification, right? Because these are two different things, right? If we make it the law that I'm allowed to go kidnap every president, right? Then, well, it's legally justified that I go kidnap every president anytime for any reason, right? So legal justification simply comes down to, did Trump break the law? But then moral justification, well, this is a different thing. And there was one part where Cool Vic brought up, like, well, where do your morals come from, right? Like, so there was a point to be made, right, where he was saying, like, well, if you're having a moral justification problem here, right, but your moral is like based off your own reasoning, you could say, well, my morals are based off my reasoning, and if you're thinking morals based off our own reasoning is a justification for things, well, then if my reasoning says it's morally justified, then you don't actually have an opposition to it, because it goes moral reasoning off of, or morals based off self-reasoning is justified, therefore everybody's morals is justified. You know what I'm trying to say? So that, like, that's where Cool Vic, could have really pinned down on too. But yeah, it was great. Hey, Cool Vic, thank you for the raid. We're gonna actually wrap up shortly, but thank you very much for the raid. Everyone who's not subbed up yet, make sure you guys sub up, okay? We're going to be having lots more debates here. Plus, I do a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? We do verbal combats every Friday. It's an open panel blood sport debate where you can win some money. It's usually, 5 to 10 topics get thrown out, and the chat has a bunch of attacks they can do. They can mute people, change names, make people 1v1, eliminate people, and it's basically a survival rounds until the end, and then one person gets crowned champion, and then the chat decides if the champion's going to get the prize or if they pay to eliminate the champion and send the prize to stack up to next week. This week, what are we at for the prize money? $450, if I'm not mistaken. This week is $450 for the prize. But yeah, you guys might like that. Also, we do a new show over here called Nowhere Prep Debates. It's where Rob Noor comes in completely blind. I set up debates for Rob, but he doesn't know who he's going to be debating or the topic that he's going to be debating. That's a really good one. Here, let me give you guys a little promo for that one. Hold up.
Who's that debater? No prep, no warning. No time to think. Walking cold, stand your ground, say what you believe. No script, no notes, no place to hide. Red actions drop. The room goes live. Nowhere prep. Nowhere prep. Nowhere prep. Two minds enter, one stance breaks. Nowhere prep. Nowhere prep. Nowhere prep. No topic, no opponent name. Just pressure, just fire, just debate. Nowhere prep. Nowhere prep. No warm up, no safety net. You showed up, now defend it. This is Nowhere Prep Debate. This is Nowhere Prep Debate. Nowhere Prep.
Let's go. Yeah, those are really we had our first episode already last week. This will be episode 2 this week. So you guys will probably want to see that. Like I said, hit the subscribe. We're gonna do lots of stuff. I do open panel purges. We do hot seat segments sometimes. You guys will like those. Open panel purge is where I visit other people's panels that are, usually they're talking about some type of topic, and I usually go up and I debate them and crush their worldviews, sometimes we find some cool people we agree with, and we just find some new friends. So that's a cool part of the panel purges as well. And then obviously our Swords of Reason, we have plenty of debates coming. Okay. So yeah, sub up. We got lots of different content here. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Okay. Let's all pray for Minar. All right. Well, I'll pray for Minar. Oh, and we got another 10 for the cause. Thank you very much, Trench. I appreciate that big time. Look at that. $4 away from the dono goal. We were going to wrap up this a little bit early because, like I said, I'm not only trying to get my my sleep schedule, back on track here. But I got some. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna edit a couple videos, and get a couple things done. Look for some things here. And also next week we will be back to starting a little bit earlier so that we can do our goofies of the day again. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right, we're gonna be back to where we start our pre-debate shows and pre-show shows. I was just trying to see if there was anything I missed. Anything I missed? Oh, tomorrow, we will be doing Eli Nix versus Planet Peterson. Tag debunks atheism, so that should be a really good debate. But yeah, I think I've announced everything I've had to announce. Hey, Davo, Jackie, W Speak Easy, big love to you, Davo. Thank you very much. Jack of Blades says 1 of 2, 2 of 2, Dono goal done. Let's go. Thank you, Jack of Blades, legend. And look at that, smash the Dono go chat. Put some W's and crowns in the chat for chat. All right, because you guys are amazing. All right, absolutely amazing. Can't thank you guys enough for the continued support. Honestly, it's a huge help. All right, it's what helps me keep bringing you guys this fire content. All right, so it's gonna help me. Unfortunately, I have to get a new laptop. That's why I'm a little bit behind because I'm used to having my laptop here for all the studio shit that I got to do. Because if I have the StreamYard studio, my OBS here, I don't like having a bunch of shit open here. It sucks having all this shit open here. It's too much. I like having my laptop. But I unfortunately dropped my laptop, and I was at the top of my stairs when I dropped my laptop. So it's out of service. Shit. But listen up. All right. Listen up, chat. Let me see. I don't think Teriak's gonna be streaming this early unless somebody wakes him up. I don't think Teriak's gonna be streaming this early. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Teriak is on. All right. Good. I can send you guys over to Teriak. All right. Like I said, my boy Teriak's always on, ready to go when I'm finished up. All right. You always got an after show. So make sure you guys go show some support for that. Hold up. Where is it? I don't like when YouTube does updates because then they change certain things that like the studio now to go to do the redirect. It's all fucking weird. Chat and chill right here. All right. Listen, guys. like I always tell you, okay? It could be, whoa, just knocked my light over. Look at that. There we go. It could be 30 in the chat. It could be 2,000 in the chat. Best chat on YouTube, hands fucking down. All right. Love you guys. God bless you all. Hope to see you all here for tomorrow. Don't forget, Planet Peterson versus Eli Nix is going to be a good one. All right. It's going to be a spicy one. So I hope you're all ready for that. But for now,
This is Sparta! Spartans! What is your profession?